Motorsports.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat. The show is about to begin.
Presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon. Joined as always by my wildly handsome co-host, John Luke Garofalo. Our friend Coop with us, aka Coop A. Fiasco. What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. It is a beautiful Friday morning, January 27th, the year 2023. I'm Simon Grunewald, joined as always by my co-hosts John Luke Garofalo and Andrew Cooper on this conference championship eve. What's up, boys?
What up?
Hi.
Welcome.
You took me for a ride there, JL.
I did.
You just like Men in Black brain wiped me with
that.
I was just like, ah.
That happens every once in a while in public. Like, you'll be at the grocery store just like minding your own business, really in the grocery zone, and someone come up and be like, "Can I help you find something?" And you'll be like,
"Who am I?
How are you?" Like, just
I exist.
You just look at them and you're like, "Tortilla chips," and she's like, "They're in your hand." Thank you. There they are. Just every once in a while, something a stranger says fully resets your brain, puts you immediately back into how do I interact with humans mode.
Right. Yeah. Like when you go to do a show at 7 a.m. and your buddy goes, "Hi."
We got some people in the chat wide awake, ready for today's show. Craig in here said, "Good morning. Happy Friday, guys." What's up, Craig?
Friday.
Friday.
Can I get down on Friday?
We got NKC in here saying you guys started the same time as me. What's up, NKC?
What up, NKC?
Hope you're having a good day so far. And Burner of Stone, the Stone Burner himself in the chat. With a nice, gentle
Burner.
Hey! It's 7:03 a.m. Eastern time.
Hey.
He must have saw I had the bomber jacket on. Hey, how you doing?
And now you're from New York.
Hey, I'm walking in.
Hey, I got a bomber jacket on. I'm walking over here.
Forget about it. You see those Knicks?
Where's my meatball?
You see the Knicks beat the Celtics guy?
Oi. I'm the 97-year-old guy who's never left Brooklyn, who's just sitting down there. I only talk in grunts now. Oh, these whippersnappers. He
hates gentrification, but he's also kind of racist. So
don't put that on my character.
Your character has no one in his corner, right? He just he doesn't like the people that lived in the neighborhood before, but he hates the people that are coming in now.
We got Vernon here saying, "Simon J. Allen, is that the Fonz?"
Oh,
hey. The Fonz.
How you doing? I kind of forget what the Fonz does. He just kind of like smacks a jukebox, right?
I think that's
so.
it. Yeah.
And he goes like this.
I think that's the whole show.
Just
15 seasons.
I'm walking here.
Hey. Then he goes to coach Adam Sandler at football. I've seen this stuff.
Tony in the chat says jumps sharks is what the Fonz does.
Yeah. So did you guys know that is where the term jumped the shark? Well, first of all, do you know the term jump the shark?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm familiar with the term jump the shark. I know jump the gun.
So jump the shark is a term they use for like TV shows for when they get to a point where it's no longer good or cool anymore. Like that show Jump the Shark. That's what they say. And it's from that movie. It's from that show, from the Fonz. And basically it was developed because there was an episode where Fonz jumped a shark, and that was kind of considered one of the best episodes. But then after that, the show kind of wasn't as good. So that's the saying that people use. They're like, oh, that show could kind of jump the shark.
Ah,
It's
I
like-
didn't know where it was from or what it meant. I just knew that it was a phrase.
It's kind of like a show peaking in high school is like same kind of phrase.
Bingo.
Alex?
Like Alex, yeah.
Okay.
We got Tommy in the chat bright and early this morning with a rhyme for us. Said earlier this week, I asked the question. Now is the time for answers, I reckon. Will Brock stay purdy? Will Jalen soar far? Will Joe stay cool? Will Patrick be a star? We're 2 days away from these epic games. Who do you like? Give me some names. DFS, prop bets, money lines, and more. FYF crew, you have got the floor. Oh, thank God for giving us the floor. I was nervous there for a second.
I was a little worried. The Fawns and this guy from New York might take it.
The stage belongs to. Hey. How long do you think we could do that before we were forced off?
I think it's
if we just said A over and over again.
I think it may have already jumped the shark.
You think so?
Although we have been saying A every day for 100 shows.
A bajillion shows.
Craig wants to know at which episode does FYF Morning Show jump the shark? 10K?
10K.
I think we've already reached that achievement.
101. What are we on? We're on
Achievement unlocked.
101 Dalmatians 8 is what we're on
109.
now.
So yeah.
109, yeah.
Coop's 101 Dalmatians 8.
Just describing numbers in reference to this number of sequels.
Or 102 Dalmatians 7. It could be either one. Really.
Yeah, either one. Yeah.
Or it could be Terminator 11. You don't know.
Tommy said Keith and his undies was it. That was the
moment. That was
honestly
moment.
That is one of the hardest I've laughed in the entire production of this show was when Keith did show up in his underpants. It just caught me so off guard. I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, that was Auntie Coop's. That was Auntie Coop's favorite moment so far.
When Keith showed up in his underpants.
No question.
Well, guys, it is that time of morning. I hope everyone watching brought a little something to eat, a snack, maybe a beverage of your choice. We like to call that combo together breakfast, and you're responsible for bringing that. But we got everything else. We got the stories. We got the topics. We got the news. You just got to bring your own breakfast.
We got the beans.
We got the beans. What kind of beans are you eating this morning?
Get beaned up.
Orange beans.
I got a cappuccino. Look how and I made the foam and everything, dude.
You made the foam yourself?
Yeah, I made it from scratch with an automatic foam maker by pouring milk into there.
Wow. Milk and dish soap.
We're frothed up, dude. Yeah.
A little milk and dish soap.
Get milked up, boys.
I bought a little lemon pie yesterday that I was going to eat for breakfast this morning, but I left it in my car.
Oh.
So it's out there.
You left your little pie in the car?
I left my little pie in the car.
I just thought to myself, oh, no, it's going to be frozen. But then I remember you live in San Antonio, so it might be baked.
It's going to be lukewarm.
It's going to be perfectly room temperature.
It's going to be just right.
It's like 60 degrees outside. It'll be nice and exactly how I wanted in that car. Slightly chilled.
So you missed
NKC
that.
said can't eat dish soap. That's true. Good call.
Speak for yourself.
He's like, you know what this foam is made out of? He's like, yeah, I made the foam myself. And he just takes dish soap with a little bit of water and shakes it up.
I just set myself up for an embarrassing screenshot, which I'm sure Craig is going to find and post on Twitter. But so the one thing that you miss in San Antonio is the beautiful thing that we have up here in the winter, which is if you accidentally leave your groceries or stuff in the car, it's no different than putting them in the fridge.
Yeah, we don't have that. For like a week randomly, we'll have that.
Yeah. You leave you go to a restaurant, leave your leftovers in the car. They're even colder than if you had brought them in and put them in the fridge.
Burner in here saying, oh, I remember what I was forgetting. He knew he was forgetting something. Suck it, JL.
Damn, suck it, Burner. You suck it, Burner. Get out of here.
Suck it before 7:10. That's what you
should be illegal.
That's Craig said, what's up, Coop?
I was being mean to Keith this morning, like 6:40. So Keith
comes in and goes, how are you feeling, Keith? I hope it's better than you look.
Suck it, Keith.
Greg, and you're saying lemon flavored food is underrated. Burner agreeing with him there. And I have to agree with you guys. I love a lemon flavored dessert. If I'm at a restaurant and like I've left room for dessert and there is a lemon flavored thing on the menu, it's what I'm ordering 100% of the time.
How much dish soap do you eat, Burner? Let us know.
Amount. The right
Let us
amount.
know in
Just
chat.
the right amount. Just a little bit of the right amount.
I had two lemon Girl Scout cookies last night, even though I'm on a diet. So that's pretty exciting.
Wow, 2 whole Girl Scout cookies?
150
Those things are
calories.
massive.
The lemon ones are kind of big. The lemon ones are on the bigger side.
And we got Keith in the chat saying, I'm going to fill all your trivia with curse words.
We could figure out how to spell them.
He's texting Earn Dog. How do you spell shit?
The one thing that Keith does have is he has the power to play Chumbawamba at any time and get our show shut down by
immediately demonetized.
DMAC requests. Yeah.
Burner and you're saying, I prefer Dawn Power Wash. It's highly concentrated.
Dawn
dish
Power
soap of
Wash.
choice.
Good choice. It's a good choice. I knew you were a man of refined taste.
That's a good one.
I don't know. I just think the people who drink Dawn Power Wash are trying to project a certain image. You know what I mean?
Whoa,
Like you don't actually like the taste of Dawn Power Wash. Nobody does. You drink it because it thinks you think you'll look cool while drinking.
Wow.
Yeah, Ethan's one of those. Sorry. Why did I say Ethan? Simon's one of those. Ethan's the name of
Ethan now.
Ethan's the name of your
109 shows, and this is the first time you've called me Ethan.
Ethan's the name of your character from New York, the gentrification guy. But yeah, you're one of those hipsters that's like, Dawn stinks, and then you eat a Tide Pod. You're like, this is what all the kids are eating these days.
The Great Value dish soap is actually better than the Dawn dish soap. But you wouldn't know because you're so married to brands.
It has nothing to do with the fact that that's all I can afford.
You're so married to branding that you won't even try the generic dish soap.
I'm Ethan.
You corporate slave.
Ethan's a hipster too.
Yeah, as he just squirting Great Value dish soap into his mouth.
Don't say squirting.
Squirting. Well, guys, I have a little morsel of breakfast news for you this morning. We talked about the potential candidates. We knew the Panthers had narrowed their search down to 2, Steve Wilks and Frank Reich. But yesterday they made it official. They're hiring Frank Reich as their head coach. This is coming from Tom Pelissero. And for a little bit of history behind it, Reich threw the first touchdown pass in franchise history for the Panthers in 1995 in Death Valley, Clemson, South Carolina, and he returns to Carolina as their head coach.
Pretty wild. We just talked about it yesterday. Frank Reich or Steve Wilks. You guys think this is the right move?
No. I mean, I don't think it's the wrong move, but I don't feel strongly about it that he was the better candidate in having some level of consistency with a coach the players like. I thought Steve Wilks did enough going 6-6 with the roster that he had, the quarterback situation that he had to manage. I really thought he was the dude there, but I'm not upset about the hire. I think it's a good hire. Just uninspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you this. Steve Wilks did not like that, and neither did his lawyer. Did you see what the statement they released?
No.
Panthers hire Frank Reich. Lawyer representing Steve Wilks says there is a legitimate race problem in the NFL after Wilks is passed over despite his impressive work as the interim head coach. So
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Yeah, it's been demonstrated. It's been demonstrated
Time and time again.
Time and time again where, the most damning one was the one with Brian Flores and the text message from Bill Belichick, because that timeline proved that they had already told one coach he would be hired before they interviewed the other coach. Right?
Yeah.
That's the scary one, because that proves the timeline itself proves that they are not taking the Rooney rule seriously. The Rooney rule is an NFL rule where you have to interview at least one minority coach for a coaching job. If you're already telling someone they're hired and then interviewing the minority coach after that, that is the most embarrassing skirting of that rule you could possibly do. Right?
Yeah, showing you're doing it just to check a box, not to actually solve the problem that it's solving, which is a legitimate problem in the NFL. So I'm curious to see where this case goes. He likely has ground to stand on here, especially if they're bringing it to press charges. I believe the lawyer when he says there's a legitimate race problem and this was an effect of it. I'm curious to see the outcome here. I did think Steve Wilks would get that job. Frank Reich, I thought, was going to have other opportunities as well. that he would have potentially preferred. And I thought the Panthers would roll with the coach that finished their season out very well, given the roster that they have. But again, just from a coach perspective, Frank Reich, I think, is a good coach, and this will be fine for the Panthers. I'm curious to see where this goes with Steve Wilkes, and I bet that's not his last head coaching opportunity. Maybe he gets another coordinator job this year, but that dude will be a head coach again in the NFL.
And the Panthers have the greatest and easiest cop out of all time in this situation.
He was our quarterback. He was our first quarterback.
You know what? That's an easy one too. But I was going to say, just wait. We wanted an offensive-minded head coach. Simple as that. If Frank Reich was also a defensive coordinator or a defensive-minded coach, just like Wilkes is, then it's like, okay, what's the rationale? But here they could just say, hey, we want an offensive-minded head coach. We hope Wilkes stays on to run the defense. Thank you and good night. We're the Panthers. Bye.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't expect much to happen.
No, you laid out exactly probably how they're going to handle that. And Burner in here saying there absolutely is a problem with race in the NFL when it comes to coaching. If Eric Bieniemy isn't a head coach by now, come on.
Yep.
Yeah,
I will say the one thing about Eric Bieniemy that is kind of potentially holding him back is that it's very rare that you hear players outspoken about particular coaches where they come out and say, hey, this particular guy I didn't like. And we've actually had that happen twice now with Eric Bieniemy. I mean, both these guys are outspoken in general, and both these guys have gotten themselves into trouble in the past. So I honestly would take team Eric Bieniemy over these two guys. But both LaShawn McCoy and Le'Veon Bell have kind of come out and been like, I don't like this guy. You know what I mean? Le'Veon Bell,
and at the same time, Greg Williams ran a literal bounty scandal and got another job. Know what I mean? Like two players saying that they don't like a guy isn't the damnation of your career as some of the other things that I've seen coaches come back from and continue to coach. Yeah. Like it's absurd. Like I get what you're saying, but for him not to be a head coach at this point is a little bit crazy.
Here are the comments from McCoy. McCoy said, there's a reason why every year they hype him up to get a job, and then when the time comes, nobody hires him because they know the type of coach he really is. That's what McCoy is.
McCoy's also a bit outspoken with his opinions on stuff like that too.
You think so?
He's yeah. Shady's known for speaking his mind as well.
He thinks the Bears should draft a quarterback in the first round this year. How do you feel about that?
That's what he thinks.
Sean McCoy said that.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you there, Shady. I'm going to disagree on that one.
Yeah, he's saying things. But, I mean, now you got – if it was just one guy, that's one thing. But, I mean, I've heard it a couple times. So maybe there's something about it. You know, is Shady as a diva, ? Come on, Burner. Come on now, boy. You know that. We know this.
I saw a quote from Eric Bieniemy yesterday whenever he was asked about Patrick Mahomes' high ankle sprain. Did you guys see this?
No.
He was asked about his recovery because he's recovered. It seems like he's good to go. And Eric Bieniemy said, I have no idea, but I want whatever he's taken about his ankle recovery. Like no idea how that dude's back on the field fully practicing. But Bieniemy wants whatever he's taken.
Keith had a good take on it from not Keith from our show. He doesn't really have a lot of takes, but Keith from Moose and Keith, the show after this one. I was kind of tuning in, watching their show. And he said he watched some of the clips from practice. And what they did is it looks like they taped up Patrick Mahomes' bad leg with like the gel and all that stuff. But then they like taped up his other leg too, so that it doesn't look like it's all taped up. So now he's just walking around looking like he's got like Power Ranger boots on. Yeah. But interesting strategy.
That is interesting. Wait, so they taped up the other one just so you couldn't tell which. It reminds me of like the old school coach. I've told the story in here before, but that would embroider footballs, like 3-dimensional embroidered footballs onto the front of the shirt. That way everybody would just go like this and they didn't know who had the ball actually coming out of the scrum. And JL is so shocked we can't even hear what he's saying.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you just
listening. I'm listening and adjusting my lips. You guys don't do that?
I'm pretty sure the Expos or an MLB team got in trouble for something very similar back in the day where they had a baseball like right here on the shirt.
They also had a football.
Yeah, and they had a football
to throw
too.
people off.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't the baseball. It was the football that was really confusing people.
What sport am I playing?
If you're a batter though, and they come out with footballs in their shirt, it would get you thinking. It would get you out of your zone.
Especially if
come
you're a
out-
dual sport athlete.
Yeah.
They come out wearing full hockey uniforms, like the entire getup,
Is that against
except
the
for
rules?
the pads.
Dude, did you see the Winter Classic, the Bruins, what they came out wearing?
No.
Dude, they had full old-timey Red Sox uniforms on, and I so thought they were actually going to play in them, but then they switched into their normal attire. But it was so funny seeing them get off the bus. Like Brad Marchand dressed like with like a baggy baseball uniform on. He looked like a little Honus Wagner.
All of these guys look just wrong in those uniforms. Like none of them look quite right. I'm looking at it right now. These are
It's so
like, I
good.
feel like
dude.
some of these guys are like, "What sport is this?" They have no idea what they're wearing right
David Krejci from the Czech Republic. Like he barely even made an effort to. He's been here for like 15 years, and still barely makes an effort to speak English. And they're like, "Yeah, put this on, David."
now.
Did you see it, Joe? It's pretty funny.
The
dude.
pictures are awesome. That's
Yeah.
No, I
pretty
have
sick.
that.
Yeah, they went way old school too, like with the stirrups and the whole deal. Yeah, it's nice.
We got Albert in here saying, "Good morning, everyone." What's up, Albert? Good morning, my friend.
Albert.
And
Welcome
Burner said
in.
5-minute calves with Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, that's his post-retirement plan, is to sell 5-minute workout tapes. All right.
Oh God, that voice doing workout tapes. All right, everybody,
Okay.
get those knees up. We're not done yet.
NKC had a question for us. Said, who would you pick to be your head coach? John Madden, Nick Sirianni, or Andy Reid?
Probably John
Probably
Madden.
Andy Reid.
Yeah,
Do we get-
Madden or Andy.
Which version of John Madden we get?
Current.
Oh, then Andy Reid.
Yeah, got to be Andy Reid then.
But if you get in their prime, are you taking John Madden?
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, I think in their prime, it's got to be John Madden. But if you giving them to me in their current state, give me Andy Reid.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Give me Andy Reid.
Did you guys see the Jets hired Nathaniel Hackett, former head coach of the Denver Broncos, guy who best friend of Jeremy Rosberg, the king of time over there in Denver. What do you guys think about that hire?
That's something. I don't mind it. I said before that, like, look, it's a different job. It's a different job. Head coach, a lot that comes with that. Offensive coordinator, you're just doing one thing, worrying about the offense. So I think that he can bounce back on this one. That's my take. Some people are taking it way too far. Right. But if he does, the thing is, it's a high risk, high reward, because if he does crash and burn, you look double stupid, right?
Yeah. After taking what he just did in Denver, and then you're like, no, we got this. And then it doesn't work.
can
You're right. That would
change him.
look. I know I can. He's just a bad boy, but he's got a good heart. I know there's a kind man in there somewhere.
The owners didn't really want to hire Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, right. You sound like the prison guard that like dates the prisoner.
They didn't really kill him. They didn't mean to kill him.
Burner News says, I agree with the Fonz, agreeing with you on the Nathaniel Hackett hire. I think it's, again, uninspiring. It's fine. It'll probably be fine for the New York Jets bringing Nathaniel Hackett in there. I just think
Who would
it's wild
inspire
that you can murder Russell Wilson's career on national television over the course of a season and then just land a high-profile offensive coordinator gig. It's wild. I'm with you, Coop. You put it into words beautifully. It's high risk, high reward. Like if it works, they look like geniuses. If it doesn't, boy, do they look stupid.
Now, if Aaron Rodgers agrees to waive his no trade clause and go to the Jets, then you look even better.
Then you look even better. Do you think that's their ploy? You think that was a little cherry on top? I'm sure it wasn't the decision-making factor, but do you think that was a little bit extra on that decision to bring Hackett in?
Robert Saleh came in yesterday and said the quarterback position was the number one concern. We're committed to finding a veteran.
So he's just telling Mike White, sit down. Unless
call
Mike
Ryan
White is a veteran.
Fitzpatrick.
Dang. And Craig's saying I don't think he has a no trade clause. That might be the case.
He does not.
I figured
yesterday.
we do out. So I just figured when he got this big elaborate contract that he got that he would have worked that in there somehow. But
Me too. I thought I saw that he had a no trade clause, but no, he does not. He does not. Confirmed that yesterday. Yeah.
That's tight.
And what you
Oh,
heard
yeah.
is he has a no tape clause.
No
Any
tape
injuries
clause.
they cannot tape.
Any kinds
they
of
have to
tape.
wrap.
Film, duck, electric,
Go on.
measuring,
The medical.
medical.
I was gonna
Crime
let
scene?
I was gonna let JL just struggle through. Crime scene.
Toilet.
That's a nice one.
Toilet tape. You guys use your
Toilet tape.
toilet tape, right?
Toilet tape.
It's
That's
like
to
it's
keep the
next to the
toilet?
paper. Well, it's for the stuff that like gets stuck. It's hard to get. You put a little toilet tape on there and then rip it off like duct tape,
Oh,
just to get all that extra stuff out
I'll
there.
try that a little later. I'll try that during the break.
And Burner said he does not. He just has pull for where he'll go. I wonder if that's written into the contract somehow, or if it's just a gentleman's agreement.
Spits
I
on his
think-
hand.
I think if Aaron
Walks up to the
Rodgers,
floor.
if Aaron Rodgers is going to go to the Jets for any reason, it will be to continue to fart on Brett Favre's legacy. Like Favre went to the Jets, didn't win. He's like, I'm gonna go to the Jets and crush it. And then after that, he's gonna go to the Vikings and
Kind of
win
seems
over
like
there.
Brett Favre's doing just a fine job of farting on his own legacy these days.
Yeah. What did we call him yesterday? Dog butt.
Hey, Coop, I think that was your transition. Speaking of dog butts, you seen what Brett Favre's been doing?
Brett Favre, a bit of a dog, but yeah, his legacy is thoroughly farted on, but it could be, it could be farted on a little more.
Also, Burner said it's that exact wording. He has pull for where he'll go.
I thought he meant exact wording as in to fart
Dog
on, to
butt.
fart on Brett Favre, the
Dog
dog
butt,
butt.
yeah.
Rodgers only exists to spite Favre.
It's true.
Yeah. I mean, and
Kind of
That's
makes me
a
like
man that
Rodgers a
maybe
little
did-
more.
I was gonna say that man maybe deserves to be kicked a little while he's down, because how far down is really down. If Rodgers does like just continue to spite Favre, he'll move up my rankings a little bit.
Oh yeah. Me too.
An enemy of my enemy is my friend. Isn't that the phrase? Or a friend of my enemy is
Enemy
my.
of my Eric be enemy
And his
is front offices everywhere.
diva running back.
Is yeah, shady.
Shady and,
McCoy, I
Shady and
guess.
Le'Veon Bell. Failed rapper running backs.
Also, Joey said farting on his legacy. Favre is flat out bricking on it. Just laying massive turds, covering up all the records. You're not even going to remember what he did on the football field by the time he's done with his legacy.
He's building like
Another-
a poop brick igloo around it.
Oh,
Disgusting.
why do I
An
feel like,
entire igloo
far?
made out of poop.
Can we edit that?
Sun-dried poop bricks.
why do I feel like that
we
would be
edit-
Simon's go-to
we edit
move
that out?
in like a battle royale?
Okay, if I was responsible for shelter, that is the resource I have the most of available
Yeah.
to me. I'm telling you, we're getting at least 20 bricks just based on what was in my system when we got to the island.
20 bricks. But the
Well, I mean, if we're talking standard sized bricks, not if we're talking like igloo sized bricks.
problem is, dude,
Right.
that's not nearly enough bricks to make anything.
On that note, Burner says headed to work later on, FYF fam.
There you go, buddy.
Burner,
Thanks for popping in.
hey,
Burner.
don't forget to suck it.
I got him, dude, on the way out.
Kick him at the door behind him.
You'll never even know if he heard it. He might have just clicked X
Just clicked X.
immediately and has no idea.
This is a very serious show.
Where we say suck it. If you antagonize us, we fall
Dog
for
butt.
it.
And we
We
call
will-
Brett Favre dog butt.
We will be mean. We will be mean to you.
Yeah.
So we talked about some coordinators that have changed spots, picked up new roles. I have word of one that is has informed his team that he's staying.
Oh,
According to Tom Pelissero, hot name and former Falcons head coach, now defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn is going to stay with the Dallas Cowboys. So he was a-
Yeah.
oh yeah, he was a top candidate for multiple jobs, rumored to the Cardinals, I believe. Also think he might have been tied to the Colts, but no, he's staying. Oh, he interviewed with the Broncos too, I think. So, but he's staying in town with old Jerry. He's staying Jerry World.
Jerry World.
Jerry.
They love him there. They love him there in Dallas. He's done a good job. I can understand this. I can understand this absolutely.
yeah, he's got a good gig. He's got a good gig being the defensive coordinator in Dallas. And this is a team that is they're close, right? I know they are known for choking in the playoffs, but this is a team that's almost complete. Like Coop, you said going into the playoffs, it felt like one of the more complete teams. And if this dude, like, we talk about players all the time wanting a Super Bowl, right? I feel like we don't talk about that as much with coaches. That could happen here in Dallas. That might be part of the reasoning here is he's on a winning team. He's built a great defense. It's what he's built. And he's sitting across from a pretty damn good offense as well. Why leave that unless it's your dream job?
Yeah. You see it sometimes in the NFL where with players where like Chris Long is the example that always jumps out where like he was like, look, I'm already rich. I want to win. So he just was like going to teams. He basically said like, hey, I'm good to mix in on pass downs and make something happen. He's like, I'm not a full-time player anymore, but why don't you bring me in and I'll see what I can do. And I think he did end up winning with the Eagles, or was it with the Rams? Or maybe both. But like he was just like, I'll take reduced money. I'll help you on pass downs. I want to win. Sometimes you see that. You see it in hockey all the time. Jerome McGinley was just bouncing around. He was already a Hall of Famer. He's just bouncing around from team to team to team, trying to
win titles.
Win the cup. Yeah, he went to the Bruins. He went to the I think he also went to the Penguins. I don't think he ever did win, unfortunately. But like he was very clear about it. He was like, I just want to win. So
we're seeing with the player you were talking about, Coop, Pats and Eagles back to back for the Super Bowls that he won.
How did I forget the Pats, dude? I think that's maybe why I thought of it. But yeah, I mean, like I'm 100% on board with that. Yeah. So Jerome McGinley played for the Flames like his whole career. Went to the Penguins, then the Bruins, then the Avalanche, then the Kings, trying to win that cup. But I don't think he ever did, unfortunately. But he tried, not for lack of effort.
Not for lack of effort. Adam in here says Brady to the Jets, Roger to the Jets, Lamar to the Falcons.
Boo.
Brady and Rodgers on the Jets.
I was going to say that's what makes it kind of funny, though. The Brady to the Jets, Rodgers to the Jets, Lamar to the Falcons. Like I thought all of them were going to say Jets. And then Adam changed it and said Brady to the Raiders, Rodgers to the Jets, Lamar to the Falcons.
Ready? How's this for the NFL would lose their minds if this ever happened. It would be the greatest offseason ever. Brady to the Jets, Rodgers to the Jets, Jets for HBO Hard Knocks.
I'd be interested. I'd watch it.
Oh my God. I'd watch every second of that.
Circus.
Make it a quarterback competition.
Oh my goodness.
In camp. It's Aaron Rodgers against Tom Brady.
That would be
amazing.
amazing.
Imagine the entitlement in that room around who should be the starter. They both know it. They
won't say it. They're just like they're being passive aggressive the whole time. Like, oh, yeah, I guess the will choose.
I would love to be in that.
We'll just see who's better.
I would love to be in that room when they're watching film. Like, just if you had a
each other.
drinking game, anytime someone said, well, actually, right? Every time, actually, here's what I would have done.
They the coaches go like, "Oh, nice work there, Aaron. Nice footwork," and he just looks over at Tom like, "You hear that?"
Everybody's clapping, and Tom just stops them. And he's like, "Wait a minute, you missed something.
Not so fast. Your shoelace is untied." No.
Aaron Rodgers explodes into clay.
There would just be a huge pie, like a huge mountain of destroyed Microsoft Service tablets
on the corner.
Just every play.
Not in the trash can, next to the trash can.
Yeah.
That's how you find him sitting in the injury tent playing a Switch because there's just a path of broken Surface tablets leading to the injury tent. Tom, are you going to come back out and play with us?
No.
Not until Aaron's nice to me.
Who do you think wins that battle?
He tried to feed me a strawberry.
Who do you think wins that battle?
Tom Brady, and I think it comes down to mental fortitude. Yeah. I think he's stronger.
I think so too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think he'll break Aaron Rodgers' will. I think Aaron Rodgers will get frustrated trying to win that job, and Tom's like, "There's nothing. I've beaten out people before. I beat out Drew Bledsoe, even though he was injured.
I'm used to fighting with Giselle. I ain't afraid of you.
$100 million man. You're describing the plot of Top Gun, Joey. You're not wrong.
Eddie in here said Dallas should let Tony Pollard sign elsewhere, cut Zeke, and draft Bijan Robinson. That sounds like such a Jerry Jones move that I almost believe it, Eddie. And he's like, I'm done with this toy. Give me a new one. Like, because he just like Zeke has been his favorite. He's loved having Ezekiel Elliott on the team, but maybe now he's lost the shine. Jerry Jones doesn't want Zeke on his team anymore. He wants a new running back.
I'll tell you, dude, that Zeke contract is so bad. It's so amazingly bad that they still don't have a great out. Like this year, if they were to cut, the best case scenario is they release him post June 6th, which basically the whole post June 6th thing, what that means is if there's like a rule where you can designate two guys as post June 6th, or you can actually wait until after that deadline, and then their contracts take on all the aspects of this year. So right now, if you cut guys, it counts for like the 2022. If you wait until after June 6th, it takes on the aspects of the 2023 contract, and you can move money into future years. Even if they were to do that, they would save 10.9 million in cap, but eat 11.8. So if they cut him, they have more dead cap than they have savings. Even now, at this point in his contract, 5 years into the contract. That's how Jerry Jones was so sold on Zeke that he said, whatever, we'll give you this crazy contract where even 5 years in, if we cut you, it hurts us. Brutal.
Crazy.
Brutal.
Absolutely absurd.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, they should just draft the closest thing to Tony Pollard and use the two of them. Bijan Robinson, to me, does too much of the same thing as Zeke, and they can't cut Zeke. Zeke is going to be with the team.
Yeah, Zeke will be there. And another interesting quote that came out of Jerry Jones this week was he said he hopes that Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy, he said so this is not coming from Jerry Jones. Said Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy said that Jerry Jones has told him he wants McCarthy to coach here in Dallas as long as Tom Landry did. 3 years down, 26 to go. So this isn't coming directly from Jerry Jones, from McCarthy saying, which is always, I guess, comes off not as strong, right? If you're telling somebody about a compliment somebody told you.
Well, and yeah, that was told privately. This could have totally been Jerry Jones kind of like gassing up Mike McCarthy, like, man, like, I want you to be one of the legends.
That was just for you.
Yeah. You know what? And like, here's the thing. Like he said, I want you to be here. You could say that to someone that you're getting ready to fire. You know what I mean? You could really hope that works out. So that I don't think that's the statement that Mike McCarthy thinks.
I like the idea that he added in that last part. 3 years down, 26 to go.
He did. Like he heard that and he was like, I can do 29 years.
Yeah,
29 years.
Yeah, but just keep in mind that I would just remind Mike McCarthy that Tom Landry he invented the 4-3 defense and the flex defense, and Jerry Jones still fired him. So even Tom Landry was not safe.
Was not immune. Also, I see Dustin in here saying good morning. What's up, Dustin? Welcome in. And he said, tough loss for the Bruins last night, Coop.
Dude, Bruins and Celtics lost, man. It was a dark night here in New England. Both those teams have been kind of crushing. But yeah, Bruins lost and the Celtics lost in overtime. So I don't know, man. We're going to have to get it together. Bruins being in first place by only 10 games or so, it's just not going to cut it for this town.
Greg and you said Jerry is loyal to a fault for his guys like Zeke. Always has been. I appreciate it, but not great for business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not wrong.
You got to that's why you got to separate church and state, man. The whole setup of owner, GM, coach is kind of perfect, right? Like the coach can be like, hey, I'm not the money guy. The GM can be like, look, you got to prove to the coach that you need to play. The owner can sit up there and be like, I delegate this information. Once you start taking it over yourself and you're responsible for everything, too much room for trouble. I'm looking at it with the Patriots and wondering why the Patriots never have like a year where they tank. They never get a good pick because the guy that picks the players is also the coach and he's never going to tank. So you kind of need that separation, to be honest, even though it's worked out fine for the Patriots, but in most cases, don't like it.
Nope. That's the word I said.
Nah.
That's a bird.
Nop. Yeah, no, I don't like it, man. Look at Bill O'Brien with the Texans when he was the coach and GM. He just started trading away players that he didn't like, even if they were amazing. He traded DeAndre Hopkins because they had disagreements. It's not the way to handle things.
No, absolutely not.
Right.
A coach the players did speak up for yesterday, so maybe not a Bill O'Brien type, was Pete Carroll. Pro Football Talk put out an article saying that the Seahawks players were not happy that Pete Carroll is not a Coach of the Year finalist. And if you look through it, you had a tweet yesterday from Quandre Diggs who said, man, I don't understand how Pete isn't a finalist. Not a top 5 coaching job with a team everybody expected to be sorry. Y'all killed me last year when I said Pete told me we're not rebuilding. We're trying to win now once I re-signed. A bunch of teammates retweeted that. And then Geno Smith retweeted the list of all of the names with the words Peter, Clay, Carroll added to it. Threw Peter, Clay, Carroll in there. And again, a bunch of teammates retweeting that. So they think he deserves to be up there. Do you guys think Pete Carroll should have been one of the nominees for Coach of the Year? Maybe over Kyle Shanahan?
Nope. I don't think so. Maybe. No. Because at least Kyle Shanahan's making it happen. I think this is more on Pete Carroll getting somewhat lucky. Geno Smith really doing a ton of the heavy lifting here. And I don't think Pete Carroll's a bad coach at all. I just think those other names deserve it more. They stood out more this year. Seahawks had a good season.
I thought the Seahawks team was going to be bottom of the barrel,
Same.
potentially picking top 5 in the NFL draft, and they made the playoffs. So, I think maybe I'm a little bit more on side with the players here that Pete Carroll really outperformed expectations this year.
Kyle Shanahan. Oh, wow. I didn't say Mike Shanahan for once. Kyle Shanahan and Pete Carroll squared off 3 times this year. You guys know how that went?
Kyle Shanahan won all 3 times. Oops. Did they?
He did. He won all 3 times. And his team won 13 games. Seahawks won 9. Backdoored their way into the playoffs because the Lions beat the Packers. I don't know. Settle down, Pete.
It's not Pete saying it. So I do like
the players.
I do like to imagine that Pete went to the press and said, yeah, the players are not happy that I'm not a finalist.
Guys, gas me up.
Hearing a lot of rumors.
Guys, yeah, I've been hearing them talk in the locker room, and they let me just tell you, they are not happy about it. And he's like, Quandre, give me your phone. And he just takes the phone and tweets something out real quick. He's like, Geno. Grabs his phone while he's in the shower.
He gets Quandre gets his phones back. He's like, your middle name is Clay?
Indeed, my name is Clay. I used to go by Clay. Clay Carroll.
Clay Carroll.
Clay Carroll. Cassius Clay Carroll.
He kind of looks like a Clay, doesn't he? Like chewing his gum. I could call that dude Clay.
I can see it.
If his name was his real, like a perfect real name for him would be Clay Kennedy.
Clay Kennedy.
Like just somehow
Inventor of the bubble gum.
Inventor of bubble gum, loosely related to John F. Kennedy.
Never once shampooed his hair in his whole life.
Always used 2-in-1.
Still looks perfect.
And he slowly turns into Waluigi.
Another interesting coaching rumor / news is apparently Jim Irsay really wants Jeff Saturday to come back. He's his number 1 choice.
Yes,
for that Colts head coaching job.
I love that. I love it, dude. Because I don't care. I don't care if the Colts. I don't care if the Colts are good. Not at all. I don't know. What's the benefit of anytime I hear the coach speak stuff, I always ask myself, like, what's the black swan here? What's the benefit? Why is this being said? Right. So for Jim Irsay to come out and say, Jeff Saturday is my, for this rumor to come out, what's the benefit to saying that? I don't know if there is any benefit. So I think that's why I feel like it might be true. I also always choose to believe all rumors are true, especially the ones that I like or the ones that I think are funny.
Maybe Jim's a big old softy. Maybe he just wants to make Jeff feel good,
Yeah. I mean, I like Jeff. Oh, yeah. He's like, maybe he's gassing him up a little bit so that if they don't pick him, the door doesn't close on him being a coach somewhere else.
That could be. That actually is 100% realistic.
I thought that's what you were just saying.
Yeah, that's true.
It's definitely what JL was
saying. I was totally serious, 100%.
Well, I think you might be right.
You picking up what I'm throwing down, right Coop?
I kind of like that. Now, would you want Jeff Saturday to coach your team? Like, if you want to coach?
Sure. What else could go wrong with the Browns? Just, let's get Jeff Saturday in there.
I don't know. I think I'd rather have John Harbaugh. I think because you're JL, you're the Ravens. You'd definitely rather have John Harbaugh than Jeff Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
John Harbaugh's top 5 coach, right?
I think, if not top 5, maybe just outside top 5.
I think I would have him top 5 because
for me,
current coach,
gotta be current, right?
Because I have Belichick, Yeah, if you go all time, I mean, now
it's too complicated. I only know like 3 coaches.
Yeah. now you're getting to embarrassing yourself a little.
You want to hit some highly speculative rumors right now? It is coming from a friend or a customer's child of someone in the chat is where this rumor source is. Okay. So that's where this rumor source is. Eddie says, I live in Miami and one of my customer's sons saw Brady and Giselle registering their kids at his school and taking a tour. This is a high-end private school, of course, also to a still in concussion protocol.
I saw something on social media about like people being like, oh, Brady's at this school right now in Miami. And that was like the whole story was around him being in Miami because and at the school. And people were speculating that, they're setting up shop. But I think Giselle has a place in Miami.
I was going to say, could this just be Brady being an active father, even though he's no longer together with Giselle and being present for a school tour when they're going to live with her in Miami?
Yeah, I mean, it's a NFL quarterback, so you got to believe that he's used to traveling around, right? Like even if he's not expecting to be in Tampa Bay, he doesn't necessarily know where he'll be.
Right. He's still figuring that out. They're setting up home base for the kids.
That's a little different, though. Let's be real. Like when you're Tom Brady, the whole world is your backyard.
Sure.
But it's still, there's an uncertainty to where he's officially going to end up, right? They can't plant roots right now, get ready for the next school year in Tom Brady's home locale.
That's true. But he's got
even school year.
Even when he lived here, he had a mansion here. He had a high-rise apartment in New York, and he had another house, I believe, in Los Angeles, and one in Brazil. And, like he can kind of do whatever he wants from that standpoint. But I choose to believe it's true, and he's going to the Dolphins.
Also, Dustin, you're saying Tua's parents said he will not retire. I know there's all sorts of news surrounding that. I hope he's able to have a long, successful, and healthy career. I love watching Tua play, but dude, that was some scary stuff we saw this year.
Yeah, but we've seen people forget like that. There's been a lot of players in this situation, and there's a lot of doctors that suggest that if it heals properly, it's not like when they're close together, then yes, like you're more susceptible to more. But we've seen it before where like they said Devontae Adams should retire when he was a rookie in his first couple of years. He had many concussions in the first couple of years. They said that Brandon Cooks should retire. They said that the tight end from Washington should retire for concussions. He ended up retiring because he had issues with his feet, where he had to have bones removed from his feet. But
Frank Gore should retire.
They said Frank Gore should. They said Frank Gore would have a short career because he tore his ACL twice in college. So much for that.
That's the secret weapon.
that was the secret all along.
2 times the charm.
Yeah, left, then right in that order.
He's still competing as an athlete. You know that, right?
Yeah, he's boxing, right?
It's because whenever you repair the ACL, it becomes a BCL, and having 2 BCLs is just absurd.
And once you get to a ZCL,
a ZCL. I thought you said Aziz.
ZCL. ZCL.
It just starts screaming Aziz Ansari quots from the calf.
Your voice starts to get high pitched. My fingies.
Chicky chicky
no.
parm. Chicky chicky parm parm.
Chicky chicky parm parm. And we got Kevin Frank in the chat. So good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Kevin.
What up, Kevin?
Morning, bro.
Good morning, bro. Kevin. Hey.
Oi.
Guys, coming up, we are going to have special guests join the show to be interviewed, an expert leading into conference championship weekend. We've got some conference championship predictions as well. And then we're going to play a game we call Texas Ranges. Our friend Tim is joining the show a little bit later today as well to play some Fast Guy Quick Time and some Hypothetically. Right now, you're watching the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network.
Front Yard Fantasy with Simon, JL, and Coop.
Sell me on doing away with the 2-conference system in the NFL.
Is it really a sale whenever this is something that's commonly agreed upon? I'm selling you on water being wet. I'm selling you on something that is objectively true right here. We look at teams at the end of the season and we go, how the hell does one team have such an easy schedule while another team is just absolutely getting obliterated. And that's because of the 2-conference system, because the division system feeds into this conference system. It's a symptom of the greater problem. Like these divisional matchups, you're telling me it's fair that the Buccaneers are in the playoffs after playing the Panthers twice, the Falcons twice, and the Saints twice this year? That is unbelievable. There are multiple more deserving teams every single year that, because of this system where we silo them into random groups, it determines the order. And yes, originally this was geography based, right? We had these divisions, they were geography. It's 2023, my dudes. Geography doesn't matter whenever it comes to the size of the United States. These teams can travel anywhere. They don't need to geographically locate them in divisions or conferences to make the games make more sense. If USC can be in the Big Ten, why the hell can't Miami play San Francisco every year? It can happen. They've got more money than these colleges and they're not taking classes. All it does is create an ecosystem where less talented teams can get rewarded for playing in weaker divisions and more talented teams are punished for continuing to improve.
Damn, bro.
Drop the mic.
I like to picture some geography teacher out there just threw a pen on the ground. He was like,
How dare you?
He smacked the globe. He was like, what do you
all
mean?
the hard work we've done.
2023 geography doesn't matter, right? Smacks his
You know
globe.
how long it took for us to get respect?
Globe goes spinning around, right? Geography doesn't matter. How dare
I'm
you?
just imagining they ripped on the world map and underneath is algebra 2. Like they just go straight into being a math teacher.
Lunch Money with Kyle and Ray. Weekdays at noon Eastern, presented by FantasyGuru.com.
Paper straws. Oh, they're so bad, Ray. I mean, I'm almost tempted to say screw Mother Earth. Give me a real straw. The paper straw thing is a step too far in saving the planet for me.
It's a great idea. The problem is it has to last. Like, it can't go mushy halfway through my drink.
That's
And
the
I think
problem.
That's the problem. They have a hard time standing up if you don't drink that
100%.
drink.
That's my issue, Ray. I'm all for taking care of the only planet we got. But, Ray, some people like to drive a lot. I don't. I don't get on them for they have to drive 20 minutes to work every day. Can I just get a plastic straw? Like, I think, Ray, we should be able to pay for a card that says, I don't drive every day, so they said I could have this kind of environmental impact by getting a plastic straw. I am in favor, Ray, of government-issued plastic straws if I have the proof that I'm worthy of such a thing. If you want it, you get it. It's kind of like the Clear Pass. You know,
Yeah,
the
there you go.
airport.
Okay.
Like, Ray, I'd be willing to pay an extra $2 a year, and I get as many plastic straws as I want when I go out to the restaurant.
And the $2 goes toward cleaning the oceans or something. So,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. That's not a terrible idea. Not terrible.
Call, chat, enter contests in real time. It's Sports Talk 3.0 with Better Sports Network.
What's up, guys? Welcome back into the FYF morning show. Unfortunately, Simon and JL had to take off. They both had to go to a bread baking contest. I did not get my submission in early enough to qualify, so left out this year. They're going to be baking away, but luckily enough, I have a guest scheduled for us. He is an expert. I wish Simon and JL were here to help me interview him, but this guy is a NFL expert and one of the best pundits out there. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of these AP awards, talk about these upcoming games. If you guys have any questions in the chat you'd like to ask our expert today, throw them in there and I'll make sure to ask them. So first, I got to ask, how are you doing today, sir? I couldn't hear you after sir. I think.
Doing
Great.
but
I,
have
the
flu.
I hate that. I actually just got over a cold myself. And whenever I have a cold, I'm pretty sensitive to light. So I guess that might explain those amazing sunglasses you have. I gotta say, I'm pretty partial to shades myself. Throw them on at times on the show, but as I say, one pair per crew, and one of us is already wearing them. So I'll put these ones here to the side. Now I got to apologize. Our producer Keith, he didn't give me your name. What do you like to be called? What do you go by?
Well,
I
prefer
Dr.
Jaimin.
But
Sometimes
you
can
call
me.
Jeff.
All right, Dr. Jeff Jaimin. We'll see. We'll see how we go today. I'll until we get to know each other a little bit, I'll stick with Dr. Jaimin. So Dr. Jaimin, they just released the Associated Press nominees for some of the awards here. Why don't we start with one of the biggies, one of the big ones? The Associated Press nominated for MVP of the league: Bills quarterback Josh Allen, Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson, Chiefs QB Patrick Mahomes. Of those guys, who do you like best to win this award and why?
Patrick
Brock
would
be
an incredible
choice.
if
He
existed.
Yeah, if there was a player, Patrick Brock, that had the the attitude of Brock Purdy and pretty much everything else that Patrick Mahomes has, that guy probably would be the MVP of this league. But unfortunately, that guy doesn't exist. So of the guys that I did name that actually do exist, which one of those guys do you like?
Brock
Is
the
person
who
should
win
this
award
Wow.
if
they
lose.
Wow. So you're thinking this is going to be a complete rug pull. They're going to get up on the stage. Maybe whoever's announcing the award just tear the card in half and say, you know what? Forget these guys. Brock Purdy's the winner here, which, that kind of leads me into one of the questions here in the chat. Tommy, our buddy Getting the Game, says, will Brock Purdy be the first rookie to start a Super Bowl? Do you guys think? I mean, you seem to love Brock Purdy. Do you think that would be the case?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Pretty much said everything you need to say there, didn't you? Didn't you know? Perfect. Yeah. We had another question in the chat. Assuming Josh Jacobs doesn't get franchised, what team would you want to see Josh Jacobs go to? He is an unrestricted free agent this year, so they didn't pick up his fifth-year option. He can go anywhere he pleases. And he also kind of mentioned he's not super happy with the Raiders franchise. So what do you guys think? What's a good landing spot for Mr. Josh Jacobs?
The
running back
who
is
going
to
win
a
award
with
Brock
Purdy
is
Josh
Jacobs.
Wow. So you guys have Josh Jacobs going to the 49ers, or maybe Brock Purdy leaving and going to another team. Which you guys think goes down here?
I
Think
Brock
Purdy
will
go
and
win
with
Derek
Carr.
Wow. So Derek Carr potentially. So Derek Carr and Josh Jacobs together with Brock Purdy potentially on the 49ers, or maybe Brock Purdy goes to the Raiders. Which guys, what are you feeling on that one?
Neither.
Raiders.
Neither the Raiders nor
49ers.
Neither the Raiders nor the 49ers. So all of these players leaving, joining up on a new squad. I mean, I can't believe I didn't think of it myself, but that's why you're the expert. You have this type of knowledge. That's why we bring you on the show. I wish Shale and Simon were here. I know they're busy baking away, sleeves rolled up, probably covered in flour up to their eyeballs, but man, they are missing a heck of a lesson probably in how the offseason almost always works in this league. Teams bringing in multiple quarterbacks from other teams, multiple running backs. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. Now, we kind of came up with a scenario earlier on the show that would involve multiple quarterbacks going to one team. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady potentially both going to the Jets, being on Hard Knocks, competing in front of a live audience for that job. If you were Aaron Rodgers in that instance, what would you do to sabotage Tom Brady during those tryout periods?
I
Would
probably
put
play
in
his
butt.
In his butt. Wow. Genius. Genius. I mean, that would probably gum up the works a little bit. Right? And I know that Aaron Rodgers being a big Clay guy probably has that widely available. Pete Carroll also a big Clay guy, as we learned earlier today. That's his middle name. What's your middle name, Mr. Jeff Jyman?
Jeff.
Dr. Jeff Jyman is your name?
Yes.
Amazing. And do you ever go by JJ?
No.
Never. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Who is it that generally calls you JJ? Like your mom, your girlfriend?
Uncle.
And
aunt.
Your aunt and uncle. Excellent. And what's your uncle's name?
Jeff.
His name's Jeff. Is his name, let me take a wild guess. Is his name Jeff Jyman as well?
Yes.
So you're Jeff Jyman the second?
No.
Yeah. No.
How many Jeff Jymans are there?
Many.
There
are
so
many
Jeff
Jymans.
It
is
a
problem
in
my
family.
So, like, for instance, your father, what's your father's name?
Jeff
Jyman.
Everybody's named Jeff Jyman. And every once in a while, you just call each other JJ. Does your dad ever go by JJ?
No.
Just you. What does he go by?
He
goes
by
Susan.
He goes by
Jyman.
Susan Jyman. Okay. Excellent, dude. That's great. I'm so glad we got to. I feel like now I'm really getting to know you to the point where I could call you Jeff. Is it okay if I do call you Jeff?
Yes.
That's
fine.
Is it okay if I call you JJ?
No.
No.
That's reserved for just your aunt and uncle. That makes sense. All right. So yeah, I mean, I had mentioned some of my co-hosts. I know that you had mentioned earlier you are a fan of the show. That's why you agreed to come on. How do you feel about my co-hosts, Simon and Jail? I promise I won't tell them. They don't watch the show.
They
are
so
unbelievably
stupid
and
dumb
and
idiotic
and
handsome.
Wow. You said it all. Those guys are some stupid, sexy sons of bitches. Boy, do I miss them. I wish they could have been here for this segment, learning a lot about you, learning a lot about the NFL, while we're talking about it, I forget if you had said if Brock Purdy would make it to the Super Bowl or not. And I don't think you actually answered that question, but let me get your take on the four teams left. Who do you think, well, before we get to the Super Bowl, who do you think wins these two games? Who wins in the Eagles versus the 49ers are playing this week, and also the Bengals against the Chiefs? Who you got winning the games and going to the Super Bowl?
Eagles
should
win
that
game,
but
I
think
the
Brock
Purdy
led
Niners
will
win
this
game
at least
by
the
4-inch wiener.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God. That is so insightful. That I think, honestly, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but we have to save something for behind the paywall for the Patreon. Don't want you giving away too much crucial information here on this show. And I know that you said you had a hard out at 8:00. Very nice of you to 8:00 Eastern time. Obviously, you're on the East Coast, staying with us for an additional 5 minutes here. Before I let you go, I just want to ask you one last question. Producer of the show, producer Keith, he is an absolute monster fan of yours. I'm not sure if the people that watch the show saw the highlights of him in his underpants, but the underwear that he was wearing are actually, Dr. Jeff, JJ, Jaimin, signature underpants. He's a monster fan. He said that you signed them both in the back and in the front for him at the expo. So we appreciate you taking care of him. He wants to know what's your favorite inspirational quote?
Be
Who
you
don't
want
to
be.
because
That
will
make you better
than
the
man
they
call
Brock
Purdy.
Wow, guys, that is impressive. I mean, Brock Purdy, he's kind of one of the coolest guys there's ever been. So kind of difficult to be cooler than him. Kind of difficult to be as cool as you guys. I mean, you, the one person that's here. So thank you very much for coming on today. And I know that you personally, you're a huge fan of one of our sponsors, Lucra, one of the biggest fans. You can actually find him on there, Dr. JJ Jeff Jaimin, and bet with him. I mean, I wouldn't bet with him because he's an expert on all pundits. He kind of knows who's going to be MVP. He knows who's going to win the Super Bowl. He knows that Derek Carr and Brock Purdy and Josh Jacobs are all going to go to the same team next year. That's not the Raiders or the 49ers, and they're going to compete for a Super Bowl. But if you do think you know some things that he doesn't know, maybe bet on the Oscars. Maybe you want to bet against me. My name on the Lucra app is Sauce McFloss. If you use our promo code BSN right now and sign up, you receive free $10 when you play. You can bet against us. You can bet against me and Simon, even though I always beat Simon on there. He's not here, so it's kind of hard for me to make fun of him. But yes, he's not good at Lucra. But when he comes back, we can talk to him about it potentially. So, Dr. JJ, thank you very much for joining us. Anything you want to tell the folks before we take a quick break?
Eat
strawberries.
There it is. Tom Brady doesn't like them. Dr. JJ says you got to eat them. Away we go. When we come back from the break, we're going to play a little Texas Rangers, some hypothetically, some fast time quick guy, which I can't even say, and I hate it, but we're going to play it anyway. So let's catch you guys on the other side. Thanks, baby.
Call, chat, and enter contests in real time. It's Sports Talk 3.0 with Better Sports Network. Moose and Keith.
Because I never asked you this. When Noah was growing up, when did Noah first where you got a sense that this is what my son wanted to do?
I was really busy during his formative years. I didn't meet Noah till he was about 19.
Nice.
So,
your wife did a good job.
Yeah, you may want to talk to your wife. I would say about 13, he started showing a legitimate interest. He started getting curious about how I prepared, what it required. And then I saw a little bit of a shift, 14, 15, where he was concentrating on the on-cameras, the interaction between play-by-play and analyst, and started probably taking mental notes at that point of the performance aspect of, okay, you do all this prep, but you got to go out and deliver it. So yeah, probably that 14, 15 range, I thought to myself, this could be something he really wants to do.
Front Yard Fantasy, weekday mornings at 7 Eastern on Better Sports Network.
You don't need to be like right 100% of the time.
No, there was a tweet about the refs that had me kind of cracking up the other day because somebody was like, we have the technology to track the ball down to a centimeter and figure out what speed these guys are running on the field. Yet somehow we still mark the ball by That's my favorite. A 60-year-old dude eyeballing it, and then we run over with literal chains and measure it. It's like, you think we could probably get that figured out.
The least precise way to measure something, and then immediately following that up with a super precise way of measuring something.
Yeah, it's like we have satellite.
Like if you're a millimeter short of that chain that they bring out there, that they ran out it as best they could in a straight line. But if you first they just go here, and then they grab the chains and they run in the straightest line possible. But then if you are 1 millimeter short with that football, it doesn't count. Sorry, couldn't have been human error. You're just short.
That's exactly. And they bring out the index card or whatever. Meanwhile, they have satellites in space tracking how fast Brandon Ayuk ran on an end around. But we can't.
and I can see that number live while he's doing it. Like I can see every player's speed on the screen live.
I love that. It's like, and not to mention like that dude's trying to make the spot, and the player always tosses the ball like right into his face, right? Like he's coming over to spot it, and it's like every other time the player's just like, here you go, here's another thing to juggle.
Lunch Money with Kyle and Ray, presented by FantasyGuru.com.
Is it me, Ray, or is the only publicity that Microsoft Surface has gotten out of their whole thing on the sideline is people throwing them to the ground in anger? Like, is that just a me thing? Or the only time I hear about this device, Ray, is when somebody is chucking it on the ground, just pissed off at it. Which I get it. All of us are in that world. We love to do that. Only in the NFL, Ray, can they get away with it because these are free. There's no cost. It's part of the sponsorship. Here's 5,000 Microsoft tablets to get you through the NFL season, and these players are just slamming them down. It's like they've become Dilbert on the sideline, and they're so frustrated. They're just like the only publicity this company and this product has gotten is negative.
Better Sports Network. It's sports talk done better.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. John Luke and I are back. He took home gold at the bread baking competition. I unfortunately couldn't get my ciabatta to rise properly, and I was left with a flat ciabatta, no air bubbles in it, and it was just humiliating. It worked at home. It worked at home.
Don't you let that affect your self-confidence, Simon. It happens to so many people.
You actually did it. You went with the ciabatta. That's such a boom bust bread, man. Like,
but when it booms, it booms.
You would have won. What kind of bread did you go with, Joe?
Banana.
Wow.
It was a free-for-all. Dessert bread, savory breads, it didn't matter. You could go with whatever kind of bread you wanted.
Keith and I totally forgot the timing on that one. And we scheduled, I know you guys love him, so you missed him. Dr. Jeff Jyman was here.
Yeah, I was listening.
Jeff Jyman?
Yeah, Jeff Jyman was here.
Jeff
not the one that goes by Susan, the one that goes by JJ.
That's his mom, I think.
Yeah. So actually, he just informed us today that Susan's his dad.
That's right. I always get that mixed up.
Yeah, I could see why. Yeah, but he was here. He did a pretty terrible.
Fans don't even know that Susan is father.
You probably don't even have Jeff Jyman underwear autographed in both the front and the back.
Your name's not Keith.
Name 5 Jeff Jyman songs. Name 5 Jeff Jyman songs right now. If you're a real fan.
I couldn't do it.
I really only like his
Have you guys ever had that happen legitimately? I've had it happen one time where I was wearing a Sublime shirt and somebody walked up and they were like, name 3 Sublime songs. And I was like, I don't know you. I owe you nothing. And I don't know 3 Sublime songs. I just thought it was a cool shirt.
And dude, not to mention, there are 3 Sublime songs that are regularly on the radio. You don't even have to be a huge Sublime fan to know like what I got,
Haha.
I just started singing, I don't practice, and then I walked away.
Here's the thing. If you would have actually known more than 3 Sublime songs, you would have been psyched that guy asked you that.
How about I name you 50? How about I name you 50?
Yeah. Can you name me 45?
There's this guy who runs around and asks people, name 5 green Pokemon, name 5 blue Pokemon. And if they can do it right, they get $100. And every time it's like, oh, I don't know, Squirtle. And then they can't get it. And he asked this one guy, he's like, name 5 red Pokemon. The guy's like, oh, I don't know. And then just rattles off like 30 of them. Yes. Just like he caught the one guy who was like, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life for someone to run up and ask me, name 5 red Pokemon.
I bet that dude thinks about that moment like every night lying in bed. He's just like, remember that time we crushed that Pokemon thing?
He's just thinking of other Pokemon he wish he would have named. Yeah. It's like, oh, I forgot about this guy.
I don't know if you guys talked about it, or Coop, I don't know if you talked about it with Dr. Jeff Jyman, but we got some conference championships coming up this weekend. Eagles, Niners, Bengals, Chiefs are the 2 games we've got going on. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what you thought was going to happen in those games. Is that all right?
I talked to Jeff Jyman about it, and I honestly could not understand a word that he was saying. That one, I think it might have been a tough connection. You was talking about something about -4 wieners or something like that. I'm pretty sure.
The 4-inch wiener clause for the NFC Championship.
We got a little cut off there. But yeah, check out his Patreon if you want to get the scoop on that. But yeah, I'm down to talk about those games.
Let's start with this Niners-Eagles game right here. Brock Purdy, like we know, leading the 49ers in this one, a rookie quarterback against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. The Eagles are 2.5-point favorites. John Luke, who do you think is going to come out on top in this one?
This one is interesting. I think it could go either way. I mean, we're talking about the top two defenses in the league here. I could see, if I have to choose, gun to my head, I'm going with the Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles over the 49ers. But I think this could be a very close game. I'm going to be interested to see how Brock Purdy is able to handle that pass rush from the Eagles side. And I get in the same vein, how Jalen Hurts is going to handle that. Their strength schedule has been relatively easy this season. This is going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah, you mentioned how they're the top two defenses, but they're the top two in different ways, really. The 49ers, very good versus the run. Honestly, just okay versus the pass. Not even that great. But they're good versus the tight end. They're good versus the tight end. Yeah.
They're lower half against the pass, Coop, to that point. Like it's not like they're just like middle. They're the 19th best team against the pass if you're looking at receiving yards per game.
They're very good against the tight end, though. So it's almost just like the outside. On the flip side, the Eagles are amazing against outside wide receivers. Arguably the best team. They have Darius Slay. They have James Bradbury. At this stage of the game, like there was a conversation earlier in the year about who has the best corner tandem. At this stage, I don't think you can make an argument for anybody other than these two as the two. I mean, like they held the two guys that were covering last week. They held them to 7 yards combined, right? Isaiah Hodgins and Darius Slayton combined for 7 yards on like 7 targets last week, right? So rock solid, but up front, not that great for strong. If you took these two defenses and combined them, you'd have the greatest defense has ever been, right? Like literally it would be the perfect.
Why haven't they considered that?
I mean,
instead of playing the game, let's just combine teams and face whoever wins the AFC.
Oh, that'd be so cool, dude. Right? Like,
just smush them together.
Bro, it's like every boss
our
battle.
Running back. Jalen Hurts is our quarterback. We got Darius Slay and James Bradbury on the outside. Like that would be sick.
The final boss.
Think about how the toxic arguments between fan bases and stuff. Just think about how cool that would be if that's what football was. At the end of it's all this competition, but at the end of the day, it was like the AFC and the NFC teaming up. Like if the Pro Bowl was that, like after the season, you build this like Megatron team of the best of both sides and actually play a real game. I think that's why they kept the Pro Bowl around for so long, because that's what they thought it was.
That's what in their minds, that's exactly what the Pro Bowl is.
See, this is what I was describing the other day when I like describe something and my buddy's just like, that's just the Pro Bowl. Like,
and Dustin, and you're saying you're describing the final 2 episodes of the Mighty Ducks second season.
That's just Mighty Ducks. That's the worst. My buddy, that's just Avatar. I'm like, God damn it.
War Chungus in, you're saying morning, fellas. Happy championship weekend. What's up, Chungus?
Chungus. What up, dude?
Chungus.
Happy championship weekend.
Hey.
War Chungus.
Hey, Chungy.
Chunga dung dung.
Shoot it. Chungy D.
Chung chung. It's like a train.
Chunga.
Chunga chunga choo choo.
Yeah.
Chungus choo choo. We got John.
Come on, ride that train. Come on and chunk it. All right, sorry.
John, we'll get to your question after we're done saying Chungus 100 more times. But John wanted to know, he said, morning, guys. What's up, John? Welcome, man. He said, I have a quick dynasty question.
Ooh,
I have the 110 and the 205 guy sent me Josh Jacobs. What's your thoughts on the trade? Also, Jacobs. Also, I have a 105 I am keeping. Thanks, be blessed.
Hell yeah, dude. The fact the guy doesn't even want the 105, that's wild. If you think, the way I look at this, in my opinion, all dynasty trades need to be put in context. But the way I look at this is, if you think that you can win this year, you do the trade, right? Like if you think Josh Jacobs puts you over the top, I do it. Now, JL often skews more towards the future. So I'm interested to see what JL thinks.
Yeah, this is tempting. This is definitely a context. There is context needed, like Coop's talking about, because the strategy that you would take here, the optimal strategy, is going to depend on your team and what you want to go with here.
Can I throw some context?
A fair trade. I think it's a fair trade.
Context on this. considering he has the 105 and the 205 pick, my guess would be that he came in 5th place this year, or 7th place if it's a 12-man team. But if you have pick 105 and 205, it sounds like you're a middle of the pack team, John.
Yeah, it's tough to tell with variance. A top team could end up in the middle of the pack by the end of the season too. So it's tough to necessarily be certain about that. Just look at the pieces on the board here. Josh Jacobs is getting older. He's going to go into his 2nd contract here, off his rookie contract into his next real contract. We don't know if it's going to be with the Raiders or another team. This to me is the point where Josh Jacobs' value might be peaking. I'm not saying that he's going to fall off necessarily, but I don't know that it's going to go up a ton.
The value starts falling before the play starts falling with running backs, almost always.
Almost always. He's coming off an amazing season, his best season to date. And we don't know if that's going to happen again, right? I don't know that that's guaranteed with Josh Jacobs. I do believe in his talent. I'm not saying that I don't think that he's a good football player. He's a good running back. I think he is. I'm just looking at value here and what I think is going to appreciate versus depreciate.
All right. Well, let me ask. Let's see if we can boil this down a little bit further. So there's 2 sides that this could go. One is that Josh Jacobs is going to get paid, and you would think that the team that would pay him is going to use him heavily. The thing is, the team he was just on just used him heavily. He's probably the heaviest usage of any running back in the league, right? So, he might not get the same usage next year. And we've also seen guys like DeMarco Murray get crazy heavy usage, go to a new team, right? For the Cowboys, crazy usage, went to a new team, and wheels kind of fell off a little bit. So in this instance, do you think it's more likely that whatever team signs him uses him a ton? Or do you think if a team, there's a chance that he goes back to being a guy that's in a split, like most backfields are? I mean, that's a real question with this guy.
I think he's going to get paid. And whenever he gets paid, you follow that money. He's going to go to a team that wants a workhorse running back, because I think that's what you're going to have to pay to sign Josh Jacobs. So these teams that would want him to be more of a role player probably aren't going to be able to afford to sign Josh Jacobs. Now, whenever I say a workhorse back, I feel like that definition is even changed in the NFL, right? That doesn't mean every single down he's on the field. I'm talking probably more than 60% of the carries.
Yeah. To put it in perspective, only 4 running backs played more than 74% of the snaps. You had Dalvin Cook, 74.5%. Josh Jacobs and Christian McCaffrey were both tied at 74.7. And then the number 1 back in terms of snap percentage. Can you guys guess who it is?
Dalvin Cook, did you say?
Dalvin Cook, there are 4 guys: Dalvin Cook, Josh Jacobs, Christian McCaffrey, and then one guy was ahead of all of them at Saquon Barkley, 79.9%, almost 80% of the snaps, man, which is wild because I watched him hurt his shoulder, come out of a game briefly, and go back in 2 times. So he could have been at 85% if he didn't get nicked up, man. That's wild, right?
If his shoulder didn't suck. Just kidding. Sorry, Saquon. You have a great shoulder. I wish I had your shoulder.
Just imagine if
not if I can't have both. Having just one of Saquon's shoulders would make my body look really odd.
I'd take one. And
then, what's up, guys? My name's Coop.
You take one, and then you do that thing where you just walk around with a jacket slung over your other. Do one of these like Mr. Cools. So you just walk around with the jacket slung over your shoulder all the time on the other one, so people don't know you have
a log.
Yeah, you're like, "What's up, guys? How we doing?"
Start being a cape guy, and you always have a cape draped over one shoulder.
Oh my god!
When you said cape guy, I pictured, because I'm from Massachusetts, I pictured Cape Cod. So I was like, "Oh, you start wearing like salmon pants and Birkenstocks,
eating lobster."
Yeah, eating lobster and wearing vineyard vines,
some rockfish.
If you're gonna be a cape guy, you'd wear a sweater like this.
We need a cape guy on the show.
Honestly, let's bring capes back. I feel like they deserve a comeback. It's been enough time that like capes can come back now. Like as just attire.
When were capes cool?
I'm thinking like Robin Hood time, whenever the hell that was. I know he's fictional, but imagine where Robin Hood is set. The fancy people in that had like capes on. They would just like throw them over their shoulders. It was like to keep warm. It wasn't a superhero thing. It wasn't to fly.
I like how John had to pop in and be like, "Thanks, guys. I'm gonna do the trade." You're talking about capes. Yeah, John, I personally would do it, man. You're middle of the pack, and if you think that this player puts you over the top to now you're competing, do it, dude. Like,
I'm with you.
We have no idea what those picks are going to be, and to be honest, I'm seeing a lot of mock drafts for this year from guys that I respect, and some of them don't even have a single wide receiver going in the first round, which is crazy when you look at the free agent wide receivers. Typically, if there's a free agent class like this, where the best guys are like Juju and Jacoby Myers and DJ Chark, then analysts would be pushing wide receivers up the board. The fact that some of these guys don't even have a single guy going in the first round means that pick like 110 and even pick like 105 could be pretty ugly compared to past years. So I am definitely in favor of trading some picks away this year, to be honest with you.
And having the 105 is the tiebreaker for me. The fact that you still have that 105, it makes it a little bit easier for me to move that 110.
Yep.
I'd be okay trading Josh Jacobs, but I would want a little more. I'd want a little more than the 110. I think you.
So you're getting Josh Jacobs.
You're getting Josh Jacobs this scenario. Then yeah, I'd probably make the trade.
I think the guy, you're getting Jacobs. I think you're right, Joe. Like that guy should be pushing to get the 105 from you. I think you should make the trade now. While it's 110 and 205, I think that's
105 for Josh Jacobs is far more fair. Yeah, than
right.
110. I'm looking at market value using Alex's trade value charts here, dynasty market value, and that's what I'm basing this off of too.
In a vacuum, that's you're getting a good deal trading the 110 and 205.
Yeah. I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys. Also, Tommy here saying you already wear a nightgown. Why not add a cape?
Why not add a cape? Why not cape?
A nightgown and a cape. Who am I? Super Scrooge?
Simon.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. He doesn't wear a nightgown. He wears tights. That's like his whole thing.
Wendy wears a nightgown. You're Wendy and Peter Pan. You're doing a one-man show of Peter Pan.
I'm Wendy.
You're playing all the characters.
I have talked a lot about one-man shows.
Who said? Did you say Super Scrooge?
I said Super Scrooge.
That's excellent, dude. Super Scrooge.
Guys, coming up, we've got our friend Vinnie joining the show to play some games with us. We're going to play Texas Rangers. Yeehaw! With our friend Vinnie Iyer from Sport News. After that, we've got some fast guy, quick time coming your direction. And for that, our friend Tim is going to join the show. And then we're going to play some Hypothetically with our friend Tim as well. Run through some hypothetical scenarios. Right now, though, you're watching the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network.
Front Yard Fantasy with Simon, JL, and Coop.
Sell me on doing away with the 2-conference system in the NFL.
Is it really a sale whenever this is something that's commonly agreed upon? I'm selling you on water being wet. I'm selling you on something that is objectively true right here. We look at teams at the end of the season and we go, how the hell does one team have such an easy schedule while another team is just absolutely getting obliterated? And that's because of the 2-conference system, because the division system feeds into this conference system. It's a symptom of the greater problem. Like these divisional matchups, you're telling me it's fair that the Buccaneers are in the playoffs after playing the Panthers twice, the Falcons twice, and the Saints twice this year? That is unbelievable. There are multiple more deserving teams every single year that, because of this system where we silo them into random groups, it determines the order. And yes, originally this was geography based, right? We had these divisions, they were geography. It's 2023, my dudes. Geography doesn't matter whenever it comes to the size of the United States. These teams can travel anywhere. They don't need to geographically locate them in divisions or conferences to make the games make more sense. If USC can be in the Big Ten, why the hell can't Miami play San Francisco every year? It can happen. They've got more money than these colleges and they're not taking classes. All it does is create an ecosystem where less talented teams can get rewarded for playing in weaker divisions and more talented teams are punished for continuing to improve.
Damn, bro.
Drop the mic.
I like to picture some geography teacher out there just threw a pen on the ground. He was like, how dare you? He smacked the globe. He was like, what do you mean?
All the hard work we've done.
2023, geography doesn't matter, right? Smacks his
You know
globe.
how long it took for us to get respect?
Globe goes spinning around, right? Geography doesn't matter. How dare
I'm
you?
just imagining they ripped on the world map and underneath is Algebra 2. Like they just go straight into being a math teacher.
Lunch Money with Kyle and Ray. Weekdays at noon Eastern, presented by FantasyGuru.com.
Paper straws. Oh, they're so bad, Ray. I mean, I'm almost tempted to say screw Mother Earth. Give me a real straw. The paper straw thing is a step too far in saving the planet for me.
It's a great idea. The problem is it has to last. Like it can't go mushy halfway through my drink.
That's
And
the
I think
problem.
That's the problem. They have a hard time standing up if you don't drink that.
100%. That's my issue, Ray. I'm all for taking care of the only planet we got. But Ray, some people like to drive a lot. I don't. I don't get on them for they have to drive 20 minutes to work every day. Can I just get a plastic straw? Like, I think, Ray, we should be able to pay for a card that says, I don't drive every day, so they said I could have this kind of environmental impact by getting a plastic straw. I am in favor, Ray, of government-issued plastic straws if I have the proof that I'm worthy of such a thing. If you want it, you get it. It's kind of like the clear pass.
Yeah,
the
there you go.
airport.
Okay.
Like, Ray, I'd be willing to pay an extra $2 a year, and I get as many plastic straws as I want when I go out to the restaurant.
And the $2 goes toward cleaning the oceans or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's not a terrible idea. Not terrible.
Call, chat, enter contests in real time. It's Sports Talk 3.0 with Better Sports Network.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network. We got Kevin Frank in the chat that says, have you ever eaten a manageable Joe?
No, I haven't,
Ooh.
but that sounds like a genius invention.
The manageable Joe. I will tell you guys, something that we did here ruined my ads that are being suggested to me because now I'm getting Sloppy Joe advertisements. And on my Google homepage, down at the bottom, it says recommended recipes just randomly, and it's all Sloppy Joes. I took a screenshot yesterday. It was 3 recommended recipes. All of the recipes recommended were all Sloppy Joes.
Dude, okay, time out. Because I meant to message you guys after yesterday when I said, or whatever day it was, these all blend together. It's just a nightmare. But I said I want to target my advertising. I swear to God, Twitter sent me an ad for Watch Gang, which I know is a ripoff, but like I was like, oh, I wish they would just send me ads for things I like shoes and watches and stuff. And they immediately send me ads for watches.
They're listening.
Is it because I said it into this microphone directly into the internet?
Did you guys ever see like the things people used to do where they would, with Facebook Messenger, if you had it just on your phone, they would leave their phone next to the TV all night with it playing on the Spanish channel. And then the next day, their advertisements would all be in Spanish. But like they would just leave their phone next to the television, and like multiple people recreated this to get their advertisements in Spanish.
That's wild.
That's
absolutely nutso, but so.
We got some. You know what? We got some bots in the chat today. You know you're having a good show when the weirdo bots show up and the porn bots show up. It's really an honor. Thank you guys for popping in and being super weird.
And in case you're not being weird, maybe you're misdirected. If you are, in fact, looking to watch someone poop, I'm so sorry. You clicked on the wrong stream. It's not going to happen here.
You're probably on the wrong platform, honestly.
You're probably on the wrong platform.
Yeah,
YouTube's probably not for you.
You mean YouTube. You probably meant something else.
Sorry, Eric Tate and Denise Nolan. Now we have to be careful what we say, because now our ads are going to be doing weird stuff because of these bots.
With the most fake names I've ever heard.
We get like sexy adult diaper ads instead. All of a sudden, guys. Joining us right now is our great friend Vinnie Iyer of Sporting News. He's going to come up to play some of our new game, Texas Rangers, with us. For those of you that do not know Vinnie is an NFL and fantasy football writer over at the Sporting News and a host on the Locked On Podcast Network. Vinnie, thanks so much for joining us, my friend.
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going?
How are you doing this Friday?
All right. All right.
Wait a second.
Wait. Hold on a minute, Vinnie.
Yes.
Seems like something's on your mind. Tell us.
Yeah, it's been a long week, but ended on a high note yesterday with a little bit of a happy hour, so that was good.
Oh, there we go.
A couple days off before the championship game. So
I get it now. Thirsty Thursday, Vin, rolling into Friday.
Yeah,
morning,
it's like
Vin.
post a long week, and then post Thirsty Thursday.
You're almost there, buddy. You're almost there. What
So
did
it's
you?
like a high and low thing.
Yeah.
So.
What were you sipping on last night?
Went to a new brewery in town. I mean, Charlotte is a brewery haven.
Yeah.
There's always something new. Like I've been to like 30 in the area, and then there'll be like 5 more. Oh, I need to go to that place. I've never been to that place. So a new one popped up. So I went to it. It was really good. So
nice. Sometimes
It's
you
awesome.
go to, it's always hit or miss when you go to a new brewery, though. Sometimes you go and you're like, should have just gone to the one I knew was good. As you're sitting there paying $8 a beer for something that is not delicious.
I feel like craft breweries have become like HBO TV shows and Pixar movies. This is the thing I always use. Eventually, if they make a lot, some of them are going to suck.
At a
They
certain
always be
point.
good, but then some
Yeah,
stuff
law of
sucks.
entropy, right? Like
Yeah.
Netflix can't escape it, neither can you.
And Victor in here saying, Vinny, ready for round 2 tonight? Let's go, Vinny.
Let's go.
We did
Get ready
actually
for-
play trivia, so that was enjoyable.
How did
Nice.
it go?
We got some money, so that was fun.
I had a blast the last time I was in Charlotte, man. Charlotte is so much fun. We were there it's so crazy. We were there for March Madness, and Duke played one night and North Carolina played the next day. It was like a Friday and Saturday. And you would think that someone so Duke played, and you would think that someone came through with like a broom and like drapes and just like swept away all the Duke. And then just like the whole town went from Duke one night to North Carolina the next night. I've never seen anything like it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you ever been up to a karaoke bar up in Cornelius called Saeed's in that area?
No, I do enjoy the occasional karaoke, but
That's a good
Yeah.
one. If you can make your way,
I'll
up
keep that
there.
in mind.
Keep it in mind, dude. Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
one. But anyway, back to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
The topic at hand, which is we are playing a game, Vinny, that you have not played with us yet. We've only played it one time on air, and it is called Texas Ranges. It's a new game. I think you're going to like it, though. John Luke, you want to explain to us how this game works?
Absolutely. If this is your first time watching us play this game, or if you were here last time, you might want to tune in because there's some new rules here. So contestants are going to be given a prompt asking for a specific number. It might be something like how many yards did Mark Andrews have in 2022 regular season. Each contestant is going to guess a number range. So maybe you might say between 700 and 1200. If the correct answer is in the range, you will get a point. If your range is the smallest out of all of the contestants, you'll get 3 points for that prompt. However, if your range is larger than double the answer, you will get 0 points.
Okay.
Get 0 points. Thank you. Shout out Coop for breaking the game last time. And so, for instance, if the correct answer is 50 and your range is larger than 100, say like 0 to 150, you're not going to get any points for that prompt. And then, of course, the contestant with the most points at the end of the game wins.
Yeehaw!
Pretty simple.
Oh yeah.
right.
I told you guys not to pin me against Vinny in actual contests that involve any sort of real thinking. He's gonna crush us.
Look, I'm really bad with NFL stats. I'll say that. If it's stats, like I just know, did they help my fantasy team win? If they didn't,
Okay, good.
like specific stats, I don't pay attention to. Right? I just pay
That's
attention
fair.
to the weekly stats. Like, did you
Okay.
get 303 this week? I don't care.
Right.
No way.
Is
All
the
right.
trends.
But we'll see. I'm probably better than this year than I think. So
I bet you are.
Yeah, you say that every time, then you just wipe the floor with this thing.
Yeah.
So I
I
don't
was gonna
believe
say, and
you.
I've got so much confidence, and if history is any proof for what's about to happen here, I am definitely overestimating my abilities.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our first prompt here. Your first prompt: how many rushing yards did Saquon Barkley have in 2022? How many rushing yards did Saquon Barkley have in 2022? Vinny, you're gonna be going
okay,
first
so I
on
have
this
to
one.
give you a range between two numbers.
Between two numbers, the number range. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say 1,600 to 1,800.
You're gonna go with 1,600 to 1,800.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go lower than that. I think I'm gonna go. So I don't know the numbers from this year, but I know a couple from last year. What they finished with, and I feel like 1,800 led the league last year. Give me 1,200 to 1,500.
1,200 to 1,500. Simon.
I am unsure on this one, but I'm going to say Vinny's range was 1,600 to 1,800, right? I want to get on the board. Last time I tried to go for the glory. Do I want to go for the slightly smaller range? I don't think I can do it. I think I'm going to go a little higher than Coop, and I'm going to go 1,400 to 1,700.
1,400 to 1,700, correct?
Yes, that is where I'm going.
All right, and we got some guesses in the chat. It's a friendly reminder. Play along with us in the chat. We love it, and we'll praise you if you get it right. Make fun of you if you get it wrong. We expect the same. We got Dustin in here saying 1,100 to 1,400. Victor going 1,300 to 1,400 rushing yards. A very smart 100 range size there. It's ballsy move, Victor. Ballsy move. We got Simon 1,400, 1,700. Vinnie 1,600 to 1,800, and Coop 1,200 to 1,500. Saquon Barkley had 1,312 rushing yards this season. 1,312. Victor nailed it. But on this panel, Coop, you are going to get 3 points for correctly guessing the number range here and for having the smallest number range. So well done.
That was correct. So smallest number range, that was correct, right?
Oh no, I think I had a scrimmage yards. Darn
scrimmage yards, because I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, Jonathan Taylor led last year with like
wait a second,
over 1,800, but Nick Chubb was second with like 12.
What was the scrimmage yards per?
That it was up there.
Just by.
That is a good question. I don't have that data in front of me though.
I bet it was up there. Because that would be right for scrimmage yards. Because I was thinking, I'm like, last year Nick Chubb had the second most 1,259. Gotta be.
I know. I just see. I combine all those yards. It's fantasy. It doesn't matter. Just combine.
And let's see. I'll say so. Victor, well done in the chat. Dustin also got that right. He would get a point. He's up here playing with us. Well done. All right. Our next.
Pull up the scrim yards. Scrimmage yards were 1,650. So it would have been. They would have been right. They would have been right.
Darn it. All right. Let's continue.
All right. Well done. So this is going to bring the score up to Coop. You have 3. Vinny 0. Simon 0. And we're going to get into our next round here. Tell me, guys, what's the seating capacity at Arrowhead? What's the seating capacity at Arrowhead? Coop, you're going to go first on this one. What range are you going to give?
I think that the seating capacity for Arrowhead, it's not one of the biggest stadiums. The NFL ones are smaller than most of the college ones. I'm going to say that the seating capacity for Arrowhead is between 60,000 and 90,000 people.
Can't really hear you. What'd you say, Coop?
Sorry, I'm going to say the seating capacity for Arrowhead Stadium is between 60,000 and 90,000.
60,000 and 90,000. 60,000 to 90,000. Simon.
Coop, that's exactly what my line of thinking was. Like, I know some of the bigger college stadiums, like Clemson, held upwards of 80,000. We have stadiums that hold 100,000. That's not what we're talking about with NFL stadiums. I think Arrowhead's even smaller, and that's part of what makes it so difficult to play in. They've got all these people packed. It is always jam-packed. I'm going to go with 35 to 48,000.
35 to 48,000.
Yeah,
35,000 to 48,000.
I hope it's 49,000.
My dingling move.
Just because you went lower than mine, but for some reason 2,000 lower instead of just right up against it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Vinny, what number range you want to give?
Okay, I think I'm going to go in the middle here and go 50,000 to 70,000.
50,000 to 70,000.
You got a game
60 to 90. What you say?
He's trying to game theory us right now.
I'm
seeing the. I see you, dude. I see you.
Yeah, if you go last, I think it's like Price is Right rules, man. You gotta play
You gotta play your opponents. Yeah. Dustin said 60 to 80,000. John Edwards echoing that. What up, John? Good morning. Charles in here. What up, Charles? Said 55,000. That's just one number. I need another for a full range here. Victor said 70 to 80,000. And Nick said 70 to 100,000. Chungus in here, 80,000 and 90,000. All good guesses. Well, the actual answer, how many people, what's the seating capacity of Arrowhead, is 76,416 seats.
That's big. I think that's bigger than Gillette.
That's pretty big.
Vinny, you were close on the range,
So
going up to
close.
70K.
Yeah.
Damn.
Victor once again nailing it in the chat. Coop, you are.
I think I had 66,000 in my head, and they must have expanded a little bit because
60. Yeah, maybe they added an extra 10K.
Yeah,
Maybe
just for the
people got
Bengals
smaller
fans.
in Kansas City.
Bengals fans coming in.
I think they started a lap-up policy in the upper deck where each ticket is good for 2 people as long as they sit on the person's lap. And so that's probably where the extra 10, 15,000 came from.
Wow, I didn't know they introduced that.
Yeah, it's new. It's they're trialing it at a couple stadiums. I believe it's at
And
Arrowhead and then at Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta as well.
It's close enough to Kauffman Stadium, so you can put a few seats in Kauffman Stadium that look over Arrowhead that count.
Just give them some binoculars as well on the way in.
Yeah,
there honestly aren't that many seats in Kauffman Stadium. I'm not sure they have extras. That's a small stadium, is it not?
Yeah, it's pretty. It's not the greatest.
Victor said, "Wow, Burrowhead can fit a lot of Bengals fans."
Oh,
boom shakalaka
with the back slap.
Yeah.
All right, well done, guys. Let's get into our next prompt here. Your next Texas Rangers. How many passing yards do the Atlanta Falcons have this year? How many passing yards do the Atlanta Falcons have this year? Simon,
Start at zero.
Simon, you're going first on this one.
Man, every number I think sounds really insulting for an NFL team. I don't know how low is too low to go whenever I'm starting the bottom of this range.
Low can you go?
Yikes. It was pretty brutal. They didn't have many yards, and Tyler Algier had 1,000 of them on the ground. As an offense, you just subtract that 1,000. Now all of a sudden, how many are even left to be passing yards? 10? I'll say 2750 to 3750.
2750 to 3750. Correct?
Yeah. I think I could have gone tighter, but I'm nervous. I'm not on the board yet.
Vinny.
All right. Let me think about this. They probably averaged less than 200 yards per game. So it's got to be less than, then doing some simple math here, 3,400. They definitely threw for less than 34,000 yards. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to make it tighter here and go I'm going to go 3,100 to 3,500.
3,100 to 3,500, correct?
Yep.
All right, Coop.
I think it might be even less than that. 3,100. You did 31 to 35. I think I'm going to overlap with Vinny, but I'm going lower than that. I don't think it's crazy for them to throw for less than 3,000 yards. I'm going 2,000. I'm going to go 2,800 to 3,400.
2,800 to 3,400. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. We got some guesses in the chat.
I almost wanted to go 2,500, but I didn't. But yeah, let's hear what the chat had to say.
Charles said 2,900 to 3,400. Dustin said 2,500 to 3,000. Good guesses. Let's see. And then Victor said minus 1,000 to 10 passing yards. They said, hate you, Arthur Smith.
Not wrong. I'm guessing Victor's maybe a Falcons fan down there.
Maybe.
Must be.
Or a Drake London fantasy manager.
Or just a
Just
Drake
wait until
fan.
they get Lamar Jackson, and it'll be only like.
Stop that, Vinny. Watch your mouth, Vinny.
He would look so good in a Falcons uniform.
Stop it.
You said it
The
yourself.
actual
You
answer.
needed a cool black alternative uniform. I think you found it.
Yeah, he just looks good in the all black uniform. And the visor, man. All right, the actual answer. How many passing yards did the Atlanta Falcons have this year was 2,600.
Oh my God. I wanted to do it.
2,699. Simon, you
Oh
were
my gosh.
51 yards away on that guess.
Yeah, I forgot that Simon went that low because I would have probably even gone lower.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's well less than 200 yards per game.
Is that the lowest in the league?
Is that the lowest ever?
No.
Since 1947?
Nope. They're number. Oh, where are they? I lost it. Oh, they're second worst in the league. The Bears, 2,219.
Yeah, that checks out.
Whoa. That just seems wrong.
Yeah.
2023.
Charles said, "Rip Kyle Pitts."
Yeah.
Goodness.
Oh my gosh.
They're only like if he would have gotten all of those yards, it would have been a record-breaking season. But there's enough yards there that they could have gone to one person.
Well,
That could have just been one person's really good season, the best ever.
Let me ask
That's
you guys.
absurd.
I think they pick at 106. Are they a candidate to trade up to 101 with the Bears and take a QB?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do they have the capital to do it?
Next year's pick. You always just that seems to be the price, man.
And how about? I mean, another thing that you got to watch out for. I think they're 8, to be honest. But they're right ahead of the Panthers. So what if they?
I know they're right ahead of the Panthers. Yeah, whatever the Panthers are, I knew they were one pick ahead.
Yeah. So what if the Ravens trade Lamar Jackson to them, get number 8, step in front of the Panthers, and get their quarterback? I could see it happening.
Falcons are 8, Panthers are 9.
You know what? That made like that breakdown of it made it a little bit more reasonable to me that Lamar could go to the Falcons. I still think he ends up in Baltimore, but you're right. They'll get their pick of their quarterback of the future right there with that pick.
Yeah. Here's what we have for the draft. You have Bears at 1, which they have Justin Fields. 2 is the Texans. They could use a QB. 3 is the Cardinals. They're pot committed with Kyler Murray. 4 is the Colts. So you probably got to get ahead of those Colts. Then 5 is Seattle. 6 is Detroit. Those are both teams that could go either way. But
no, don't forget the Colts are going to go get Derek Carr or Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield.
Why are we counting out Sam Erlinger?
Bro, if you bring in Sam Darnold,
Erlinger.
They're going to get another recycled quarterback.
Here's my thoughts on all these teams, man. All these teams. This includes Detroit. This includes Geno Smith. Is that the Chiefs had? If you really go back and look at Alex Smith with the Chiefs, he was winning a bunch of games, right? Like he was winning 12, 13, 14 games. They went out, drafted Patrick Mahomes, started Alex Smith anyway, right? And then they traded away Mahomes to Washington they traded away Alex Smith to Washington because Mahomes became the guy. So to me, it's not crazy for the Lions to take a QB at 6 or 18, start Jared Goff, and if you get the guy, you get the guy. It's not that hard. Like the guy doesn't have to start right away, does he? Am I crazy? Am I taking crazy pills here, folks?
No, I think that's reasonable. It's just different now because everyone's looking at, I've got to win with the rookie contract. So you throw away 1 year in the rookie contract. It's hard, right?
Yeah, that's true. Once the Chiefs did that, they were pretty much boned.
Like I think the Steelers, that's a team I would watch to go like very aggressive this year with the rookie contract.
All right, 1 year. It's 1 year. Patrick Mahomes sat 1 year. That is amazing. Do you think the Chiefs are like, we would have won the Super Bowl if Patrick Mahomes started that 1 year? I don't know.
It's tough.
It's a pretty good year.
You also have to be pretty confident as an organization. So that's the other thing.
That's true.
The Lions also have 2 picks in the first round.
Dude, Lion season. About to be so much better. We got Brock in here. Said, can I ask a question? You can. You can absolutely ask a question.
He just did.
Aha.
You didn't even ask another one, Brock.
You get 3 questions.
I think Brock's messing with us.
I think Brock's a bot.
Oh, is he? To answer your question, Brock, yes. Let's see what else you got.
Let's see what else you got.
Honestly, I love silk. I have silk pillowcases. I have silk underpants. It's phenomenal.
John in here said, just thought you guys would want to know. I just walked out to like 3 inches of snow and said, nope, going back in. Listen to the guys.
Hey,
let's go.
The boys are back in town. Guess who just got back today?
Woo! Game show music never fails to hit. Let's get into our next prop.
I see Julian in the chat. What's up, my friend? Julian! Welcome in, Mission Man. He said Dak sold hard. Bring Lamar to Dallas.
No, Julian, stop that.
That would be fun. That would be so much fun putting Lamar Jackson on that team.
Dak would immediately win a Super Bowl with the Ravens, and then it'd be
We saw a little head nod going from Vinnie until you spoiled it with that Dak Lamar trade.
Come on, Julian. Man, Julian's had a hard year though, because he's a Texas guy, and he's TCU fan and Cowboys just lost.
Yikes!
Brutal. Brock asked his 3rd question. He got 3 questions. The first one is, can I ask a question? The second question was, do you guys like silk? The third one is, have you ever felt silk? Why do I feel so creeped out by this box?
Well, because I'm just waiting for the punchline whenever we say yes, and then there's some sort of
totally innocuous questions that make you feel like you're about to get set up.
Yes, I have, Brock. But that was your third question. You don't have any questions left, Brock. I'm sorry.
You're out.
Please,
Yeah.
please.
I think maybe he just has a punchline left.
Is that Brock Purdy? I'm just checking.
I hope he does.
Exchange questions.
This is his cousin Brock Hershey.
Brock Hershey.
It's like the fake name Brock Purdy writes down to try and trick people.
Bot Purdy.
Bot Purdy. Charles P. All right, then.
All right. All right.
All right.
Well, okay.
Dustin,
All right,
with
guys.
a quick trivia, can you guys name the song that I was singing?
I
wasn't
honestly
listening.
forget.
Guess who just got back today?
Oh,
Those wild-eyed boys who've been away.
Oh, that
Boys
song.
back in
The Thin
town.
Lizzy
The boys
thing.
back in town.
What, Springsteen or something?
Thin Lizzy.
Sounds like a Springsteen. Wow,
too?
you got it, dude.
What was it?
Vinny got
Thin
it.
Li-
Thin
Thin
Lizzy.
Thin
Lizzy.
Isn't that in Toy Story? Isn't that a big deal in Toy Story?
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
We played it at my
All right, guys.
bachelor party 130 times.
Let's get into our next prompt here. Texas Rangers back in our game. Coop, you were leading this game 6-0. What I need you guys to tell me is how many people watched the Dallas Cowboys versus San Francisco 49ers game. Dallas Cowboys versus San Francisco 49ers game. How many people watched it?
I don't know where to begin.
Yeah, I don't have a
Vinny,
good field
you
of
are starting
reference.
on this one.
Oh, great. I'm just going to lock in quickly 50 to 60 million.
50 to 60 million from Vinny.
I think it was one of the most viewed. Which one is this one? The Cowboys versus the 49ers.
Niners.
50 to 60 million. I'll go
50 to 60 million.
I'll go for 60 to 70
Oh,
million.
yeah. I wrote the wrong thing down. I'm dumb. What was your guess?
I'll go. Can I hit? It's kind of a lame move. Can I just go like, so he says 50 to 60. Can I go like 51 to 59?
51
Yeah, go
to
in second.
59?
You can.
Sure. You
No,
can.
I don't want to do that. I want to
You eliminate 2,000 from yourself, though. That could be the right answer.
But if we both get it right, I have a smaller range and I get more points.
Correct. That's the
So,
game.
all right, I'm gonna go 60 to 70.
60 to 70 million.
And I'm just trying to get on the board here. 40 to 75 million.
40 to 75 million.
Though I'm really trusting Vinny here. He set the reasonable range for me, and I'm just operating
anchored
around
you.
that because I had no.
I just overthought the last question, so I'm just going quick.
I have no
That's why I went
reference.
quick.
I have no point of reference for this. I just don't pay attention to it, so it's hard.
You don't pay attention to your Nielsen ratings?
Mine personal ones are, between 6 and 10 people
I
on
don't even know
YouTube. I
what
think.
ratings are. People stream stuff. Who knows?
Yeah.
They're actually
Who
watching it.
knows? We got some guesses in the chat. Charles said 5 to 10 mil. Chungus said 40 to 50 mil. Dustin said 20 to 25 mil. And John said 55 to 65 mil. Well, the actual number of people who watched the Dallas versus 49ers game was 45.65 million. 45 million, 46 million.
Oh, so
This is what I would have rounded up.
only Simon got it right.
Hey!
Well
Good
done,
job.
Simon. That is going to give you 3 points on this one since nobody else got in the range.
I'm on the board, baby. I'm
On
coming
the
for you,
board.
Coop.
Did Brock Hershey ever follow up? That's what I really care about.
He did, but we can't answer any more questions. We gave him 3.
He's out of tokens. Try again tomorrow.
His fourth question is, how do you beat the Eagles?
And guys, we got in the chat. Hey guys, Almond Joy Mahomes here. Have you ever felt an 80-20 cotton blend?
I haven't.
Sounds
No.
nice.
I have not.
It's all about the polyester. All right, we got 2 more to go here. So we're going to speed through them because we're running a little low on time. So, Coop, you're guessing first on this next one. Tell me how many all-time passing yards has Russell Wilson thrown in his career?
Oh, jeez Louise.
Hustle Swilson. I bet he's thrown a football over them damn mountains. That's for true. Let's we're supposed to speed through this. So I want to say he's definitely thrown over 10,000 because he's been in the league for many years, probably over 20,000. So I'll say between 25 and 35,000.
25 and 35,000 is the range set by Coop. Simon, what do you think?
I know this number exactly. So I'm going to go the real small range here. It is between 34 and 37,000.
34 and 37,000.
Without a doubt in my mind.
Right, Vinny.
I'm going 39,000 to 43,000.
33,000, 39,000, 40. This is in the chat. Dustin 35 to 45. Victor 30 to 34. John 25 to 30,000. And Charles with 10 to 20,000. So all kind of in this range here. The actual number of passing yards Russell Wilson has thrown in his career is 40,583.
That's Vinny. I was low. He doesn't feel like a quarterback that's that old, but he is like 30 something.
Yeah,
I did some math there, so that's where I came up with that range, that random range.
Good job.
Good job. You nailed it though. I thought for sure I had that one locked down. You saw.
I knew he played for 11 years, so then I just did 11 times 35 or 33.
You nailed that.
So, something like that.
Looks like Justin followed the same logic as you. 11 times 35, give him 38.5. Throw a little extra padding on there. Get your number.
I'm still winning.
Well done. Charles said, I thought you meant interceptions.
How about that? How about that?
I
for
knew
Matt?
he missed games, so that was also helpful. Like he
How
played
about that?
full.
I played one time and I cheated. So look at how about that, Vinny?
We all won.
How about that math?
It was a good game. We've all won. So
that's right. We're all having a good time.
Yeah.
Well, Coop, you are in the lead, and this is our final prompt here. This is our final prompt. Simon and Vinny, you guys can tie. If you get the 3 points here and Coop does not get a point, you will win, or you will tie.
I shouldn't have talked so much trash.
Yeah. The question is, how many footballs were used in 2018 in the 2018 season and playoffs?
How many footballs were used?
Yep.
But the heck? I know one of them was used when now I forget who it was. One of the wide receivers caught the first touchdown pass from somebody this year and just chucked it into the stands. And I was like, I thought that was amazing. I think it was Sam Howell's first touchdown pass. Terry McLaurin just fired it in the stand. Amazing. Just launched it. Okay, let's see.
Simon, you were guessing first here. This one. How many footballs were used in the 2018 season and playoffs?
Oh, God. Okay, let's do just some quick math. 750 to 1,000.
750 to 1,000. Any?
I'm going to go 800 to 1,100.
800 to 1,100. Coop.
800 to 1,100. I'm going to go with 1,000 to 2,000.
1,000 to 2,000.
I think I might
have different balls for kicking and throwing, by the way. The kicking game has different footballs than the passing game. That's why
I did on average 3 balls a game, which I think might be underselling it, which is what
probably
I did.
It's probably like 10,000.
There's a lot more balls per game.
They're giving away a game ball.
Oh, and I didn't even consider Brock Purdy started for 5 games. Just double the balls from those weeks.
And you forgot Tua borrowing Ryan Fitzpatrick's balls.
I did forget about that.
That's an old joke, old reference. Charles in here said 100 to 500. Victor said 400 to 600. John said 650 to 800. And Dustin said 10K to 20,000.
I'm starting to think Dustin might be right too, because they're throwing them in the stands, right? They're like giving them to kids, right? Somebody gets a game ball. I'm not sure if you guys have seen, but Zach Taylor goes to a local bar in Cincinnati and gives the game ball away after every game, which is awesome. Like the last time he gave it to a bartender at just a local bar. Yeah,
it's pretty sick.
Was the bartender like in need or something?
No, he just went to the bar and everyone was like chanting for like them to give it to the bartender.
That's hilarious. Well, the actual answer is 18,090. So
only
Dustin's gonna get points for that.
18,090.
Yeah.
After I said 1,000 to 2,000, I was like, I bet it's over 10.
Which means
that's a lot of balls.
That's absurd. That is absolutely absurd. That is so many balls. And even though we all got that one wrong, Coop,
that's
that means you're going to that is a good question. Coop, you're going to stay on top and be our winner today. But Vinny, you and I ended tied with a respectable 3 points in second place there. It was a warm-up round for us. Next time we got them.
Yeah, I'm glad we played a game called Texas Range and it had nothing to do with Chuck Norris, so it's good.
Guys, if you are not already following our friend Vinnie on Twitter, go and fix that right now. He's on Twitter at Vinnie Iyer. And Vinnie, thank you so much for taking the time to come and play some Texas Rangers with us today, my friend.
All right, thanks, guys. Enjoy the championship games. We'll see you next week.
Same to you.
Bye.
See you next week, Vinnie.
Have a good weekend, Vinnie.
Coming up, we've got our friend Tim Wright joining the show for some Fast Guy, Quick Time, and then some Hypothetically right after that. You're watching the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here on Better Sports Network.
Make bets and follow your fantasy team while you buy, sell, and trade collectibles in real time. Only on Better Sports Network.
Can't miss Mitch is hanging out with Rick Camler here. He's with Roster Watch. I want to let you know something here, my friend. I'm a listener. I'm a seeker of knowledge, okay? And I know it sounds cheesy if I said I'm a seeker of wisdom, but I am. And Mitch, I've learned a lot from our interviews here on Better Sports Network. Because what you just said is something that I've had to work through in my dome. This has been my first time with a full-time gig in the betting space, right? I've dabbled in it, I've bet a million times, but as a on a huge platform here with the betting analysis. And so I'm learning, I'm evolving, I'm accumulating information and wisdom. And through what you've been telling me, trust the data, right? It's been like working on me. And a lot of times I talk my way out of a winner, Mitch. And it's about just trusting, like, okay, so if I got a vibe on a player in a big time basketball game and it's a superstar showdown and all this kind of stuff, and I have a predetermined vibe and I go in and I look, and every single indicator that I look at is under. Why am I going to go over? Just follow the numbers and listen to the data. And guess what, can't miss Mitch? I have been doing that, and I've been missing out a lot of NBA props because of blowouts, load management, and all that stuff. Is that a complaint? But I've hit a couple of unders recently that didn't feel good, can't miss Mitch, right? They didn't feel good at all.
Unders never feel good.
They don't feel good, but I said all of the trends say under, so I'm going under, and I hit on them both. And I literally thought of you when I hit on those, man, but this is really sound advice for everybody out there, isn't it?
It really is, and sometimes it's hard. If you want to gamble. That's when you can do dumb It really is. Have fun at the roulette table. That's gambling. If you want to actually try and have sustainability, sports betting, you've got to have a system that's backed by data. And you've got to find the data that correlates to scoring points and what the opposing points are going to score against them as well. It's not hard. All the data is out there. You've got to just play with the numbers, and you got to continue to stick with that system, back test it, play with it, and then you're a sports bettor. You're not gambling.
Talk sports with Lisa Ann and Rick Kamla, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Better Sports Network.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. Joining us right now, we've got our friend Tim Wright coming up to help us close out the show. We got a couple segments left. We're going to play some Fast Guy Quick Time and then some Hypothetically right after. And to everyone in the chat, I know we've got a silk invasion right now. It is going on. We are being overtaken by the Silk Army, but we will fight this fight and we will get the Silk Army out of our chat. I promise.
I think
Silk Army.
The bots knew that the silky sounds of Mr. Tim Wright were coming on today.
Oh, they
absolutely.
did. What's up, Tim? Thanks for joining us.
I woke up with some whimsy in my step today, and then it was 32 degrees out, and that quickly left my feet.
Some whimsy.
Froze your whimsy?
Oh, yeah.
Just froze his whimsy right off. It's bright and early this morning. I like your lights, Tim.
Yeah, they're fun. They do all sorts of light stuff.
You have flashing colors. Can you sync them to your music?
Yeah, yeah, if you don't want them to really match.
You can you can sync them to the music as long as you sync the music to the lights. Like you just have to watch the lights and be like, din, din, din,
Yeah.
din, 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 din.
I've tried it, and it just goes, blah, blah. Like you have to be really, really loud, and when it's really loud, it just gets really, really bright, and it doesn't look good. So we're trying to figure it out. We're trying to get the balance.
Figure it out.
Guys, so we're about to get into a game of Fast Guy Quick Time. Before we do that, though, I want to remind everybody about something cool going on here at BSN. Tonight at 7 Eastern time, you can join Campus to Canton for a college football talk show about the possible end of the Alabama dynasty, why Brock Purdy wasn't a star at Iowa State, and the odds for Penn State to win the Big Ten next season. They've got news and strategies for your fantasy football dynasty leagues. And if you're interested, get into one of those Campus to Canton leagues. You're playing from the time these guys enter college all the way until they get into the league. It's a pretty cool format. So check them out tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. You guys ready for some Fast Guy Quick Time?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. For those of you who have not joined us for this before, Tim, have you played Fast Guy Quick Time with us?
No.
This is Tim's first Fast Guy Quick Time. How this works is each of our contestants will be fed a series of rapid fire questions. The one and only rule is to not think, just answer. You are not allowed to think about your answers. The whole name of the game is speed. If you start thinking, we're going to start going, hurry, hurry, hurry. We're going to put pressure on you. So this is a game of no thinking, just speaking. First thing that comes to mind, answer these questions. We're all going to do it. We're all going to take turns answering questions here.
Hooray.
John Luke, I feel like you never go first. And today, I think maybe you should jump in and be the first fast guy having a quick time.
Okay.
Look out, Tim.
I accept your rules.
Look out, Tim, because this is where they pull the rug and say, okay, Tim's going first.
Fine by me.
Just gets immediately mistrustful with this game.
I don't trust this game one bit. This game gives me anxiety, so love it. Let's do it.
Okay, JL, are you ready?
Yeah.
Here is what we got for you. Ready, set, go. Altoids or Tic Tacs?
Tic Tacs.
Goatee or handlebar mustache?
Handlebar.
Favorite vegetarian?
Me.
Favorite vegetable?
Zucchini.
Worst actor to play Jesus Christ in a movie?
Tom Cruise.
Funky or groovy?
Funky.
NFL player you'd never let use your bathroom?
Aaron Donald.
Sexiest music genre?
House.
A made-up old-timey baseball player name?
Smudge Bleederson.
A liquid you can't drink but wish you could?
Battery acid.
Weird name for a sex position?
The Toro.
Pick a new first name for yourself.
Coop.
Nice job, JL. You did it.
Great
You
name.
did it, my friend.
Great name.
And you know what? I love the self-love with you being your own favorite vegetarian.
I was
The
about to
only
say,
one.
I don't know any, and then I realized that JL was.
I thought you were gonna steal my old Tommy baseball name. Then you went something totally different.
Smudge Bleederson.
Smudge Bleederson.
All right, Dale. Nice job. Tim, do you feel a little warmed up?
Yeah, I think so.
You feel a little
I
warmed
think
up?
the Whimsy's coming back.
That's my whimsy sound.
I see we got two full sets of questions for Tim in here. I wrote one and Keith wrote one. So Tim, maybe you can go twice.
All right.
Yeah, you can go twice, and I won't go. You can have my
No, and you still go once. You still go once. Joe, you want to run Tim's questions? Or you want me to run them through them?
You got this.
I got this. Here we go, Tim. You saw JL do it. Now's your time to shine. 3, 2, 1. Who will win the Super Bowl?
Niners.
Funny new name for a fart. Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibb?
Dr. Pepper all day.
Sweet or spicy?
Spicy.
Horrible name for a cat.
John.
Worst potential NFL head coach.
My dad.
What's your stripper name?
Glitter Nips.
Your favorite movie?
Zoolander.
Your favorite book?
Comic book. I don't know. I don't read.
Worst beer?
One that's not in my hand.
Who's your daddy?
Pedro Pascal.
How do airplanes work?
Nobody.
More appropriate name for Lake Titicaca.
Say that one again. What was that?
A more appropriate name for Lake Titicaca.
Lake Winnipesaukee.
Worst thing to have for breakfast.
AIDS. Oh.
Your childhood crush.
Marie.
God, what have you done?
Oh no!
That was executed to perfection.
no.
That fast guy quick time.
See what I'm saying, dude? This game's terrible, bro.
That is the worst breakfast for sure. That one would be Trails mine. You're saying best one ever.
Telling you,
That's how it's done. That's how it's done.
Glitter nips.
Take notes, kid. Glitter nips.
Glitter nips.
John
dude.
the cat.
I thought you were gonna pick.
So much gold in there. I don't read. Glitter nips. Ate for breakfast.
Can't read.
Can't read. Won't read.
Can't read, won't read, baby.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna pick the Twitter your stripper name Frozen Whimsy. I thought that was
That's a good one. That's a
Frozen
good one.
Whimsy.
All the thoughts left my head at that point.
Blake Winazaki.
all right.
John said AIDS. You did it, man. I think I just woke up my wife.
All right, that was fast time quick guy. Now we're done, and we're not doing that anymore. So
We got two more left. Jay, you wanna swap? You run it for Coop and I here.
Sure.
Whew.
Let me pull them up. Give me 1 second here.
Who's going next? Myself or Coop? Coopathy.
I like the
Oh,
idea of dragging this out for Coop and just giving him that anxiety
get it over with.
for a little longer here.
Hate this game. It tricks you into saying AIDS and saying Bud Light's your favorite beer.
Tricks you into having fun, man. Hate it.
You really got to trust yourself in this game.
This game tricks Joey into saying he wants to be touched by Michael Jackson.
This game gets you to say things. So you got to have trust in who you are.
You got this. All right, Simon, you're up next. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Favorite fast food logo?
The Popeyes logo.
Store you always go into but never buy from?
Yankee Candle.
A person whose hand you're afraid to shake?
Tim.
If you had a secret club, what would the password be to get in?
Woo!
Final words after being sentenced to death?
Flip me over. I'm done on this side.
Football player you want to kiss on the forehead?
Darren Waller.
NFL rule you'd like to see changed?
Pass interference. Get rid of it entirely.
What does JL want most in the world?
Me and my body.
What's your sleep number?
64.
What do you fake until you make it?
Orgasm.
Team you want Aaron Rodgers to play for?
The Canadian team.
What's that smell?
Oh, butt.
Person you want to see play football?
Tim.
Thing you do when no one is looking?
Tim.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
It would be flight.
Flight. Nice. Well done, Simon.
Whew, I could just. Tim was on the mind.
I
He
know,
just
I
did
got-
such a good job there.
got
Tim
three-
was just on the mind.
Is that 3 points for me?
I really thought your superpower was gonna be Tim after all this.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna be honest there. That was a second thought one because the first thought was Tim.
My heart ends up racing just watching. Is 64 actually your sleep number?
Whenever I last trialed it at a store, I was in the mid 60s. It may not have been exactly 64, but slightly on the firm side.
I wouldn't even had a range to guess for sleep numbers. I would have gone way too high.
I didn't even
It's
know.
1,000.
A million.
Next time you walk past the sleep number store, which I know doesn't happen often, once every couple of years you
Do
stumble
they have
across
sleep
one.
number stores?
They do. They're quite rare. Walk in and have them do the whole little shebang to find your sleep number. They like lay you down in the bed. They move the remote for you. They're like, tell me when. It's like the Parmesan at a restaurant, but with a mattress.
I think I'd die. I would prefer not to.
They touch you just above the knee.
Is this your sleep
Is
number?
are the high numbers the hard ones or the soft ones?
The high numbers are the hard ones. Think of it like an air mattress and the percent that it is full.
Oh.
Oh man, a 0 is just like sleeping in the sloppy net.
It's also I did have a sleep number at one point, and it eventually started losing air. And I would go to bed on a fully inflated mattress, then wake up on just a flat air mattress sitting
hammock.
on top of a wooden board.
Nice.
Just a hammock with a hard bottom. All right, Simon. Or I'm sorry, Coop. You're the last one to go. You ready? Glasses, the hater
No,
aids.
I'm not ready.
Well, best of luck then. Thing you hate about Tom Brady?
His chin.
Food you eat out of the carton.
Yogurt.
One word to describe your life.
Awesome.
Nickname you call your dog.
Luffy Lou.
TV show you told people you watched.
I think you should leave.
Best food to bring into the bathroom.
Peanut butter.
If FYF was a fraternity, how would you haze the new recruits?
I make them do this.
An accomplishment you lied about.
Hurry.
Dunking.
Word you think describes you.
Awesome.
Best advice for parents.
Raise them good.
How many times do you floss a week?
Twice a week.
Place that makes you want to vomit.
My desk doing this.
Shady favor you asked a friend to do for you.
Can you help me bury this plant?
Person you look up to but shouldn't.
Tim Wright.
Say something nice to Keith.
Keith is up on time for the show sometimes.
Well done, Coop.
Dude, I don't like that.
You survived. You made it.
I don't like that one bit. Dude, my heart is actually pumping. I don't know what it is. I do this show every single day, 3 hours a day, and then the moment you start asking me rapid fire questions, I just can't speak. I cannot speak. I need these shades.
Some people, that's their natural environment. You throw Tim in there, and he's like, "I'm ready to go."
Tim's good. Tim could do the whole show. I had no doubt.
You hear that? You hear Fast Guy Quick Time, and you just immediately shrink into yourself.
Should we do Tim's second set of questions while we have him? Or should
I
we
think
save him for another time.
Let's save him for another time. And Tommy and you said you are afraid the truth will slip out, Coop.
The truth is that I actually cannot dunk. So I did say the truth on that one.
Wow.
Have you lied about that? Have you said you could dunk?
No, I don't think I've ever said I could dunk. I want to dunk so bad. If I could dunk, though, I wouldn't be here right now. I would just be at the Y dunking.
All day, every day.
100% though, right? Like if I could dunk,
It's like I would not have a career. I would just be the asshole at the Y.
Dunking, dude. But yeah, in pickup games, right? I would just hang out in the corner and shoot threes, and then every once in a while I would dunk it, cherry pick and dunk.
You're shooting threes at like 8%, but you keep chucking them up there.
And I always say something too. I always say something when I shoot the three. I'm like ice.
You turn around. You turn around every single time. You chuck it up and then don't even look and start walking the other direction.
Everyone knows that guy at the Y. Cherry picking and only shooting threes. Not playing D at all. The only D I play is every once in a while I'll take a charge.
And you really sell it. Guys, coming up, we're gonna play some Hypothetically with Tim. So stick around for that. Right now, you're watching the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show here with Better Sports Network.
Better Sports Network is sponsored by Lucra.
Your 2023 prediction on the promo that we played was the Lakers was going to make the playoffs and beat somebody in the first round.
Hey, I hope we match up against Memphis.
That's not going to happen.
I hope we match up against Memphis.
And you'll get swept.
Ain't no way we get swept.
Sweep them. The Memphis Grizzlies would be swept. They would be laughing at them.
If the Grizzlies if the Lakers make the playoffs with AD healthy, Westbrook off the bench, and LeBron, everybody's healthy, they will beat the Memphis Grizzlies 100%.
We will be on Lucra betting on that game right
100%.
now. All right, Better Sports Network is sponsored by Lucra. Lucra is redefining friendly competition. Compete in the games you play and the sports you watch with Lucra. Download the Lucra app right now to create a contest and bet against your friends in as little as 15 seconds. Use the promo code BSM when you sign up to receive a free $5 to play with. Winning is fun, and beating your friends is even better.
Lucra is redefining friendly competition. Download the Lucra app today to challenge your friends and win money.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. I think we broke Coop. Hat off, just sitting there in disgust, completely broken from that Fast Guy Quick Time. And God, and we broke his voice as well. Just everything about him is broken right now.
I wasn't looking at Twitter at all, for sure. And I definitely don't need a haircut. I definitely don't need a haircut.
Every break we're on, Coop goes and gets in a Twitter fight. That's just what he does every single time. Oh, we have 3 minutes? I'll go fight someone on Twitter.
People are going to want to fight me when they see I have an Eli Manning tweet queued up for after the show. I was going to send it during the show, but then I remembered that it would definitely distract me. So, hey, I was being good. This time. It's in the drafts. At 10:04, I will tweet about Eli Manning, and then you can get mad at me.
Giants fans, get ready. have Coop A Fiasco loaded up on Twitter, ready to go at 10:04 a.m.
See you at 10:04. You'll be in there.
See you. Because we're about to get into a game we call Hypothetically. This is the game of hypothetical scenarios, and the one and only rule is to overthink the hell out of it. Explore every avenue, every scenario, and play it out to its extremes. You are taking every route of this hypothetical scenario, trying to figure out what you would do. Maybe some would you rather formats, maybe some other formats, but they're all going to be prompts that we have to dissect.
That is true. That is true. You guys ready to get into them?
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
All right. This one is nice and easy to get us started here. Would you rather have a photographic memory or the ability to read minds?
Ooh.
Oh God, people are sick.
Tim can't.
If with the photographic memory, can I spit out a Polaroid out of my mouth too?
No.
Damn.
With the reading minds one, can I turn it on and off? Like, am I able to just read a mind at will, or am I constantly hearing all of the voices of everybody around me and I have to like learn to dissect that?
You can listen at will.
Okay, thank God. Thank God. Otherwise, I was going to make it.
It's not always like fully in control. Like you can.
It's not like ears.
It kind of works more like ears. Well, yeah, I guess ears you don't have a choice, but you can turn off. But sometimes you forget. Like it's not. You're not perfectly like, oh, turn it off now.
But it's not like where you're going to go insane listening to everybody's voices in your head at all times.
It's not a constant cacophony of sound.
Okay, cool. That makes it more of a question because otherwise there was no, I can hardly handle my own thoughts being in my head, let alone everybody else's.
Now with my photographic memory, it's like, I remember, like for instance, like books and stuff. I read that. I know.
For instance,
you heard of them? It's like a book.
like for instance, like my friend Tim Wright said he couldn't read. He can read now.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I think that's a trick. I was thinking the same thing. Now I have a photograph memory of something I still don't want to read.
Now you just remember it.
He can memorize the shapes. It's just a bunch of shapes on a page to him that he can memorize.
It's also like visual, I think, photograph memory. It's not just book knowledge, but in general. So
the people that have that are insane, bro. I watched the video of this kid in a helicopter looking over at, he just like, they flew him around New York and he looked down at New York and then they landed and he drew New York to a T. Every single thing. He just
because he had a butt plug that was giving him the answers.
Yeah.
just like the chess guy.
He's also a chess world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Then my next question, do I need to have a butt plug in either scenario?
No.
Can you?
Yes.
For asking for a Coop.
Asking for my Coop.
That's how you block the other thoughts out. Is what you don't know is you actually read minds through your butt.
Most of my thoughts come out my ass anyway, so gotta keep them stuck in.
You cork it to keep the other thoughts out.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to answer this one. I don't know what you boys.
The photographic memory is interesting. Like I feel like it's a lot more useless than useful, but there are a lot of very useful instances for it. Like we play fantasy football. That'd be pretty handy as a contestant on the game shows that we play around here, right? Like any stat you ask me, Texas Ranges, as long as I've looked at that number before, which some of them, like, yeah, the capacity of Arrowhead, I'm not going to know that exactly, but a lot of these stat-based ones, the range is going to be 1 for me because I'm going to know it exactly on the die.
Right. I still think I feel like I don't like the person that knows everything. I feel like if I was that person, I would hate myself because I could win every like what happens argument ever. Like, oh, I said this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, you actually said this. It's not a good thing to have. I think it's a horrible curse. Like, I would love to be much more flexible in that and be like, oh yeah, Simon's hat was actually red, but we'll say it's maybe blue. I don't know.
So you don't want to be the neckbeard, well, actually guy all the time. Yeah,
exactly.
But now the thing about reading minds that's kind of interesting is that like, how deep can you read? Because like sometimes I'll have a thought, but in the back of my mind there'll be another thought. Right? Like, like, can you read the whole thing? Like, how deep in this mind are you getting?
I think
have to read the mind. Can I hear it?
You really don't like reading, do you?
You're really against the reading part. Coop, you asked me how deep can you go? I'd say a medium level. Like it's not like you can dig into people's subconscious and like recreate,
but you get
understand all that.
You get the gist of what's going on.
Yeah, you get maybe like you can hear their conscious narration or whatever.
If someone doesn't speak
Stream of
English,
consciousness.
am I reading their thoughts in their native language or in my native language?
Well, that doesn't do anything.
Their native language.
Okay, so if I'm reading a French guy's mind, I just hear baguette, oui, oui, and I'm like, oh, okay, weird. All the French guys are saying the exact same thing.
they all think the same.
Baguette.
Yeah, when you're at Taco Bell and you're like thinking of what to order, and the guy's just like you just hear the dude thinking, amigo in rojo hat es muy estúpido. And you're just like, oh damn it.
Oh man. Oh man. Hurt my feelings.
Not my feelings. Not my Taco Bell.
And then my other question about reading minds was, is it humans only?
Yes.
Okay, so
I could read my dog's mind.
That made it too powerful on that side. I just wanted to clarify humans only. So humans only, and the usefulness stops at languages you don't speak.
What is it, Sparky? Is little Timmy caught in the well?
If I could read my dog's thoughts, it would just be.
I want to read a bird's mind. Birds are crazy.
Birds scary.
That would be awful, bro.
What do they think?
Probably not a whole lot.
I'm gonna go here. I'm over here. I'm gonna go over there. See ya. I'm over here.
I like the little hoppy ones, the ones whose legs aren't long enough to take steps whenever they're on the ground. Some birds walk, but some birds are so little that they hop everywhere they go, like the little wind-up toys with the feet that bounce. Those are the only birds I'm fans of, and other people's pet birds that they take videos of. I like those ones, but I don't want them in my house. Stay away from me unless you hop.
Imagine you see those birds hopping around and you like tune in and listen to them, and they're just like, the birds are just like, I'm not sure if having a global oil consortium is a great idea, but I'm not sure how we go about dismantling OPEC.
Yeah.
And then,
it's basically that episode of Rick and Morty with the squirrels.
And then he just eats a worm.
Meanwhile, we've cracked fusion for years, but the humans are just catching up.
Yeah, right. That would be horrible.
Shut up, Jerry.
I think I'm ready.
I think I'm ready as well.
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
My fragile self-worth can't handle reading other people's minds.
Yep.
Not that I think everybody's thinking bad things about me, but it would just take one or two to break me, I think. Like someone that I thought liked me thinking mean things about me while we're talking. And of course I'm going to check. To protect my own self-worth and the work I've done on loving myself, I have to take the photographic memory, even if it makes me an insufferable know-it-all asshole.
Yeah, that'd be cool and all. But for me, I'm taking the other one. I'm taking the mind reader. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go out of my way to find my way onto some game shows. And then once they read that little note card with the answer on it, I'm just going to be like, zoop. And boom, millionaire. Smell you later. Eat it, Vinnie. I'm going to play Jeopardy just long enough so I do better than Vinnie. And then come back on the show.
1 point over.
And then come back on the show and not use my powers again. And we're like, we have Jeopardy champion Vinnie on. And I'll be like, well, I kind of did better than Vinnie on Jeopardy. So
Actually,
I'm not sure if you guys remember, but.
And then I jump in with the exact number one from each of you because I remember both numbers exactly.
Yeah.
Joey said AIDS, burr plugs, and Patty Mahomes / Kermit the Frog voices only on the FYF morning show.
Smart show, dude. This is a football show.
Like and subscribe.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
What do you got, Tim?
Thanks,
what do you got?
I'm gonna go reading minds, and I'm gonna finally find out if that waitress is actually hiding a secret menu.
I thought you were gonna say if she likes you.
Oh no!
Tim,
about that.
Tim knows there's a secret menu
There's a
at
secret
Chili's.
menu.
I thought you were gonna be like, find out if that cute waitress likes me, and you're like, hey, she's...
Find out if that cute waitress has a secret menu.
That guy,
deep state, baby.
These two waitresses are talking. These two hot waitresses, and they're like, that guy over there can read minds. I wonder which one of us he's thinking about right now. And then it like zooms over to Tim, and he's like, I know they have a secret menu.
Which one knows the secret menu?
I wonder which one of these he's thinking about. I know they've got a menu back there.
She walks up to the table. He's like, where is it? She's like, what?
So my quick sidebar, my Chili's does actually have a secret menu.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I swear to
Chili's
God,
too?
bro. I have a Chili's right down the street from my house that I am part owner of. And we have a secret menu. I'm not kidding. So there's a chain of Italian
knew
restaurants
it.
called Maggiano's. Have you heard of them?
I used to work at Macaroni Grill, their sister company.
So there's a crazy thing where they're all owned by the same company. Maggiano's, Chili's, right? So
Macaroni Grill on the border. You can throw in that group.
So they started doing when they started doing like Grubhub and all these like delivery servers, Uber Eats, right? They realized that if we own all these companies, why would we just do Uber Eats for Chili's from that location when we could also take the frozen Maggiano's food and keep that at the Chili's and do that too? So you can actually order Maggiano's from the Chili's down the street from my house.
Oof.
Secret Maggiano's.
menu.
Secret Maggiano's. There's no Maggiano's. The nearest Maggiano's is in like downtown Boston, which they would never deliver here. But like I can order it from there. It's right down the street. Secret menu. So so not sure if you want to revisit your choice, Tim, but I kind of already proved that one part true.
Yeah,
I think Tim's convinced there's a secret Chili's menu, not the Maggiano's secret menu out of Chili's.
What
are you doing with those crispers behind closed doors? Huh? I know you're doing something special with those chicken crispers.
So what do you imagine is on the menu, secret menu?
I don't know.
That's why he needs to
He's
find it.
trying to find out.
That's what I'm trying to find
If
out.
he knew, he wouldn't be as worried about it.
Dude, they definitely have like dessert quesadillas and stuff. And,
no way.
That actually sounds
I'm making
really
dessert
good.
Icing instead of
Damn
cheese.
Marshmallow fluff inside of a dessert quesadilla.
That might have been the
roll
best idea I've ever
quesadilla.
had.
You're a genius.
You just witnessed it.
Tim,
You're gonna get
I'm making dessert quesadillas today.
They could be made out of crepes. Oh,
You're gonna get assassinated by Big Chili, dude. They're gonna
I
be like,
know.
he's on to us. Send him in.
Big chili.
two little hoppy birds just come through your window all of a sudden. They actually work for Chili's.
Drop the cyanide.
just peck me in there.
They've got little Chili's aprons on, these tiny little birds.
That would be a cool way to die. Not gonna lie.
We got
Assassinated by
Chili's.
by Chili's hired birds. Yeah,
We've
that'd be
got
pretty
a-
sweet.
We've got a code 9 here, and the bird's like, what? He knows about the secret quesadilla desserts.
We gotta take him out.
Hal in the chat's in danger too. Said cream cheese frosting and dried fruit thrown in there. Hal, you better watch out. Chili's is going to come for you.
Careful, boys. Careful,
Dried
boys.
fruit, man.
I'm looking at pictures.
Marketing on that.
I'm looking at pictures of. I typed in dessert quesadilla, and I don't know if these are dessert quesadillas or what they are, but whatever came up here is amazing.
It looks delicious, guys. If you're enjoying what we're doing here, we're going to play some more hypothetically up going forward right now in a minute. But before we do that, if you enjoy what we're doing right here, you should join our Discord, Front Yard Fantasy. The link is in our YouTube chat. You can also find it below our video in our YouTube channel. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the stuff that we're putting out. We've got game shows, we've got shorts, we've got videos of us talking about Brock Purdy's balls, everything you could possibly want right there on that YouTube channel, except if you're looking to watch someone poop, as we covered earlier. That is the wrong channel, or anything related to silk.
Thank you for joining us, though. We appreciate it, but no, we do not have any.
No.
We do. I'm not sure we can help you guys.
Joe, we got another hypothetically
At least not now. At least not now.
Hopefully not silk related.
Not silk related. Oh, that's a good idea, though. Dustin said, I managed a restaurant. We sold fried cheese curds. We also sold garlic chili fries. Secret menu item was tossing the curds in the garlic chili oil.
Oh my God, that sounds so good.
That's what I'm talking about.
What's worse marketing, dried fruit or curds?
Yo, if you think curds is bad marketing, you just haven't eaten enough curds, because that word becomes delicious very quickly in your head.
Is there marketing? Have they surpassed marketing?
I think they're just what it is. Like they're like, we don't need to market. It just is what it is, and you're gonna like it. Because a cheese curd.
All right, let's get into our next hypothetically prompt here.
My mouth is watering, Dustin.
Would you rather swim with eels, sleep in a bat-filled cave, or spend a night in a haunted house with Kirk Cousins? So there are three options here. Would you rather A, swim with eels, B, sleep in a bat-filled cave, or C, spend a night in a haunted house with Kirk Cousins?
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Are the eels electric?
Alleles.
Alleles. Are these alleles?
Isn't alleles a biology term?
Yeah, it's like something from genetics.
What was the question?
Are these eels genetically altered?
No.
Are they electric eels?
Yes.
Is that real? I just would like to ask right now. Like, are there really eels that can electrocute
Yes.
you? That's not just a movie thing.
Nope, that's a real thing.
Okay,
100%
I wasn't sure if it was like unicorns or something.
true. Yeah, no, totally real.
Like, I've never
Electric-
encountered.
They don't like zap the water like you like in a cartoon. It's just, but they have electricity. Yeah.
Okay, now my question with the haunted house: is this a haunted house like one you pay to go in October, or is this a haunted house like that shit's haunted? Like there are like
real-
ghosts and demons living in that home,
Yeah, like as close as you can get. if
like
not-
Murder House from season 1 of American Horror
Let's
Story.
just put it this way: you're in there, and you're not like, even if you're skeptic, you're still kind of freaked out just at the environment.
So maybe like you're in a house with Kirk Cousins and you're going to have legitimately scary paranormal experiences while you're in there with him.
Yeah, weird stuff will happen.
You're not necessarily safe.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not explaining the reason why, but you will experience stuff, even if you're skeptical and you don't believe it.
I think it would be a lot of fun to watch Kirk Cousins have not fun in a haunted house. Like, I want to see him get dragged away by a demon into a closet. I'm like, oh, Kirk Cousins is gone.
You all right in there, Kirk?
You all right?
Bro, you know Kirk Cousins gonna keep you all night. I'll keep you up all night making you pray.
And Tim's just watching XOXO for the 400th time while Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins is being mauled by a demon in a closet.
Yeah.
And he's like, just turns the volume off as Kirk's.
You good?
Kirk, he
Yeah,
finds
okay.
he finds
Didn't hear
Kirk-
ya.
Kirk finds the kitchen. He's like, nice. Now I can boil us some steaks.
I think I'd honestly be on the side of whatever demon is in there. Like, I think I'd turn the tables.
Tim would be
Teaming
like,
up with demons.
kill him. Yeah. By the halfway through the night, Tim would be like banging pots and pans together. He's like, I hope a demon doesn't come and kill Kirk.
Kirk gets tabletopped by the ghost, and it's Tim. Tim's the one behind him.
It was me the whole time.
You guys may not know this about Tim, but Tim was possessed by a demon our freshman year of college. It's the only explanation for the behavior that took place in our room. So I do believe you would connect with those demons, Tim.
That's what I'm saying.
That demon's probably still lurking inside of you.
What did the demon make Tim do?
It was a series of events that Tim Wright did that convinced me he was possessed by a demon. It was a not random roommate, but we found each other on Facebook, right? And we lived in a tiny little dorm, like 2 lofted beds. And then there was like a narrow little hallway in between and a sink. And that was our room. So you could jump from one lofted bed to the other, probably no problem. It started with Tim just like sitting up in his bed, and he would just sit up and he would start talking in a voice that clearly wasn't his, saying like random words and random noise, like, like just, and then he'd go back to bed, lay back down. Like, okay, that's weird, but maybe like, I don't know, we're in a new environment. He's homesick. Like people react differently whenever they go into a new environment. That's probably fine. And then one night I'm sitting in bed on my laptop, got my laptop, brightness down. Tim's asleep. It's late at night. And all of a sudden Tim sits up, goes like this, where every bone in his body from one side to the other, I hear crack. And then he gets on all fours on top of his lofted bed and starts crawling in a circle on his twin XL mattress around in a circle. And then he sits, legs dangling over the edge, looking into my bed, and just points at me and just sits there staring and pointing for like a solid 2 minutes. And I am fully convinced, 100% sure that the next thing that's going to happen is Tim is going to crawl across the ceiling and come attack me. Like the look in his eyes was terrifying. He finally laid back down and I got up and I left. And I went and knocked on my neighbor's door and was like, you got to let me sleep here tonight. Tim is doing some weird demon shit in that room.
Jesus. Tim, did you happen to find an old VHS tape and watch it? And there's like a little girl, there's a little girl on it crawling out of a well.
I don't know. My memory of all that stuff going on was I was asleep.
Good God, dude.
It was terrifying. And then there was another one where I was asleep on the futon down below, and all of a sudden, from out of the bed, whoosh, jump down, land like Spider-Man on my mattress in a full squat. Tim Wright, clearly still asleep, gets back into bed, but he jumped down there, scared the snot out of me. And then the weirdest part was, though, after Christmas break, like this was happening semi-regularly, like weird stuff like that. It never happened again. Not one time did he do that again. So that made me think even more that it was like something demonic, because it just stopped. He went home and had that demon exorcised.
People's like, I swear everyone has these like weird late night things that they do while they're sleeping that they just don't know about. in college, my best friend, my roommate, would tell me he'd stay up till like 4 or 5 playing video games, and he'd tell me I'd like almost every single night I'd be sleeping and I'd sit up, say something random, and then go back to sleep. But he's like, every single night without fail, you get up, you say something random. Most times gibberish, sometimes it's like their words. But he's like, you do it every night. And no one has ever told me that before.
Simon didn't tell me for years. Like, I had no idea.
We also had a ghost in that dorm room that kept vomiting in our sink, which is really weird. We would wake up semi-regularly with just a sink full of vomit, and that ghost was nasty.
That's the one that walked down the hall and did it into the toilet.
Yeah, that's the same ghost who painted a bathroom stall on our dorm hall as well.
It's weird. And weird. The ghost loved Mike's Hard Lemonades.
There would always be all these bottles in our room as well. Some Zimas, some Smirnoff Ices. They were just a big fan.
What a pesky ghost.
Victor said, spend a night in a haunted house with Kirk Cousins. I can picture Kirk yelling at the demons. You like that?
I got one question about we haven't really talked about the middle option. Now, if I sleep in this cave with bats, I know you probably can't give me an exact percentage, but what are the percentage odds that I turn into Batman?
About 1%.
Oh. Ooh,
so you're saying Tim's like, yeah,
exactly what I'm saying.
That is way higher than my normal odds of becoming Batman.
Yeah,
at 1%, I'm just sleeping in there until I'm Batman.
Wait, so how many bats are we talking?
Thousands.
Ew.
And there's like the thing that's getting me about this is where there's thousands of bats, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of grams of bat poop underneath them. And you're probably sleeping under some guano sitting
valuable.
Yeah, it's called guano.
Valuable guano.
Yeah, but I don't want to sleep on it. I don't want to sleep on a bed of guano.
Guano's such a more fun name for poop.
Pretty comfy, cozy.
It's pretty fun.
Guano's a masterclass in marketing. Guano and the Patagonia toothfish being renamed the Chilean sea bass.
Yeah.
So much fancier than a toothfish. And guano is so much better than bat shit. I don't think I can sleep. I don't think I can sleep on a layer of bat poop, but I don't really like the other options either. I just learned electric eels were real. And now you're telling me I have to swim with them for how long?
The whole night.
Until he gets out.
I can't swim for a whole night.
So do you want me to die or stay asleep in 2 different places?
Half the night.
I don't think there's gonna be much sleeping going on in any situation.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins is gonna wake you up constantly.
This is extremely high pitched scream.
I got my answer. So when I was a young lad, and Auntie Coop
was a young warthog.
When I was a young warthog, and Auntie Coopy can attest to this. I would sleep in my room. My room was on the top floor, and every once in a while I'd wake up and there would be a bat, which young me, it didn't turn me into Batman. Did give me yet. If the stages of turning into Batman have 15 years of night
very
terrors,
slow,
15 years of night terrors, then I am well on my way to being Batman. But but the thing is, it kept happening. To the point where, and sometimes Auntie Coop would babysit us, and it happened like twice while she was there. One time we just let the cat loose in there, which that's solved the problem. The other time we actually caught the bat with like those nets that you use to catch like little fish and stuff, which we found out later from my mom, you're not supposed to go near bats. So that was not a good idea. But
did the bat fit in the net?
Oh yeah, we caught it. We got him. But the thing is, we learned eventually that the bats were coming in through a hole in my window. They're coming from the attic into the window into my room. So, but the thing is, it happened so many times that by the time by the 5th or 6th time it happened, I was literally just like, hey, there's a bat in my room again. So I think I could get away with just sleeping in the cave full of bats because I've already slept in a bedroom that had bats in it. So give me the bat cave and a big old guano pillow to rest my head on.
Mm-hmm. Plenty of pillows.
And a nose plug.
Yeah, getting Tommy says Auntie Coop probably messing with you, planted the bat. I would not put that past Auntie Coop one bit to plant bats in my room.
Super elaborate prank.
It's hilarious. First of all, that's hilarious. So if she did do that.
You saying that some of my favorite memories are like the couple of times I've been someplace inside where a bird was not supposed to be, but a bird was, is always so funny because it is chaos. The bird does not want to be there, and none of the people want the bird to be there. But no one's quite sure how to get it out. So everyone's freaking out. The bird's freaking out. The people are freaking out. Like it's my favorite. And then the best is when the person most responsible for moving the bird, the manager, your parent, is also terrified of the bird because they have to do it. But the whole time they're like, ah! Like every time it moves, they just let out a little yelp. That chaos is something I wish I had a little bit more of in my life. The bird in the house chaos.
Nobody thinks they're scared of birds until they are right here.
Until there's a bird
in their zone. Not in the neutral territory of outside.
Yeah, then you don't like them. Then you actually realize how crazy they are.
Yeah, just wildly unpredictable.
Flying knives.
Ridiculous.
Jason,
flying screaming knives.
Okay, so Coop, I can't take the bat one. Tim, what are you taking here? Are you going in the bat cave with Coop?
Yeah, I mean, it's if there's a 1% chance of turn into Batman, that's pretty sweet. But I feel like I'm almost guaranteed in like an actual haunted house to get superpowers somehow. They might not be great superpowers. They could be Danny Phantom. So
you get 1% chance of in each of these scenarios. Chance of getting electricity, 1% chance of turning into Batman, and 1% chance of getting cool ghost powers like Danny Phantom.
Oh, like Danny, I thought you were going to say I had to sell my soul to a devil and become a warlock, but I just get to become Danny Phantom.
I mean,
no, not that.
Okay.
I feel like my stats are naturally at least tripled, so I'm still gonna take the haunted house, and I'll just lock Kirk Cousins in like a room with a bunch of crosses.
Puts him in the basement.
I don't know.
He's like, we gotta explore the basement, Kirk. Come on. Kirk's like, I don't want to go. And Kirk is like, it'll be fine. He gets
Fuck up, buddy. Pushes him down the stairs.
Yeah.
Classic.
You like
good?
Classic haunted house logic. We should split up. We should split up immediately.
Yeah, and find what's ever doing this.
You hit him with his own tagline.
Let's split up now.
Well, I'm taking the option that neither of you took. I'm just finding it really hard to believe that there's really an animal out there that can electrocute you. Where the hell is that coming from? Underwater too? That seems like a health hazard. I need to see these eels firsthand to know that they're real. And
right up to 800 volts.
I like swimming. 800 volts. That sure sounds like a lot that would hurt. But I'm gonna take the electric eels because here's the other thing, guys. I don't know if you know this, but I am an electrical engineer, so I should be able to navigate my way around an electric eel or two.
You should be able to plant some circuits on those eels.
Exactly. I'm gonna calculate their resistance is what I'm gonna do.
Just see Simon like floating at the bottom of the lake, just going, oh, all the eels around him rise up.
Forming a bubble of electricity around me in the water, a place where I can breathe even.
Simon becomes the eel king.
Also, Dustin said FYF movie idea, horror movie, but the scary thing is just a bunch of birds. And Victor said it's called Angry Birds. Dustin, great movie.
Great.
I like just called birds.
I like how we took this prompt and covertly found a way to pick each one of the options and also turn ourselves into superheroes.
Yeah.
It's like
bad options into kind of good options. James.
Danny Phantom, 1% Batman, and Eel Boy.
Eel King.
I'm Eel Boy.
I walk into a room and I just go like this. Zap!
He shows up at the conference and everyone's like, "Ew, dude, Eel Boy's here."
Watch him do his zap thing. Hold on.
Oh. Eel Boy brushes up against you and you're like, "Oh,
why am I wet?
Why are you so slimy?"
For some reason, Eel Boy reminds me of the guys in the new Pokemon game on Team Star. If you guys haven't played it, they have the hokiest little thing they do whenever they go. They say, "Hasta la vista."
Yeah.
And then they do the shape of a star with their hands.
Bro, that's dope.
Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista.
Kind of dope. I kind of like that.
You know, the person who's thinking that, I was like, wow, that is the greatest thing I've ever written.
No one's ever thought of that. It's amazing.
You know, they thought that because they wrote that, they could start doing it too, and people would be like, yeah, that's cool.
There's Eel Boy and Star Boy.
Taking on the world, one electric eel at a time.
All right, so Simon, Coop, you're taking the bats. Tim, you're taking the haunted house, and Simon, you're taking the other one.
Yes,
the eels, man, all three. I love it. All right, we got time for one more.
One quick side note. So we mentioned the weird subreddits every once in a while. Jay said birds aren't real. There's a subreddit called Birds Aren't Real, dedicated to birds not being real. I see Tim nodding his head.
Oh yeah.
Almost 500,000 people there that call themselves patriots, and there's 94 people in there right now. That means there's 93 people and me in there on Birds Aren't Real. So.
Dude, have you ever seen a baby pigeon? The answer is no.
Not in real life.
Oh my
Just
God,
in
I
a picture,
guess
and it
not.
was terrifying. Seemed fake.
All the fake ones are all the ones you see on Google are obviously Photoshopped.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're just adult pigeons that have been shrunk down to look like babies.
Yeah, de-aged pigeons.
Benjamin Button pigeons.
I wish I could undo looking at this picture.
Pigeon Button.
Benjamin a pigeon.
Benjamin Pigeon.
Benjamin Pigeon.
Pigeon butt.
I will one day have a pigeon named Benjamin Pigeon. It's gonna happen.
And then you'll have to explain to everyone why that's well, you see.
Benjamin Pigeon.
Let's do one more.
All right, guys. Here is your last hypothetically prompt. Would you rather vomit on Gronk or get vomited on by Simon and Tim's dorm room ghost?
Vomit on Gronk. I know I should take more time here, but I feel like it would be a bonding moment. Like you would do that and he would be like, whoa, dude, someone drank too much. Yeah, like, whoa, should have brought my poncho. Like he would
didn't know we were in the wave pool.
I feel like
he would be so cool about it. Like I feel like Gronk wouldn't even react. Like
he's like, happens all the time.
He would go like this, and he always wears like water repellent shirts because he spills all the time. So it wouldn't even stay on his shirt. He would just do one swipe, and all the vomit would fly off directly into a garbage can.
See, I think he would vomit on himself just to make it look like it wasn't me that did it. Because he's that guy. Yeah,
he's that nice.
Don't worry, bro. I got you.
You'd be like, everybody's peeing their pants these days. Pull one of those, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I love this game. He vomits back on you.
See, at first I was going to say that I'd rather have this ghost vomit on me, not to ruin my chance of being friends with Gronk. I mean, because, I know the odds are slim, but if you throw up on him, they're probably even slimmer. But it sounds like you guys have kind of sold me on the fact that he'd probably be on board with that. Right?
I just want to be clear, not in a sex way. I think just in a he'd be cool with it way.
What kind of a sex way is there?
None of us were thinking that.
I just wanted to make sure
no one
we were
was thinking
liking vomit in a sex way.
If that's what we're
being cool with it.
You were just making sure. You weren't thinking that. You were just making sure. That
exactly.
That's nice.
Exactly.
That's like, I mean, I feel like the chat being so
but not
weird.
in a sex way.
Not in a sex way.
How's it, Coop? That's a dangerous question.
We should just start like mixing that into like every topic of conversation, but not in the sex way.
Listen, I really think Brock Purdy is going to win the MVP of the Super Bowl this year, and I would be putting all my money on him.
We have
Dio like sex way.
We have Dio Ledbetter on to like talk about Falcons again, and we're like, do you think Desmond Ridder is going to be good or anything? But like not in the sex.
Not in a sex way though. It's just like
If you add not in the sex way to any question, it immediately makes it super weird.
Well, guys, it feels like it's a unanimous throw up on Gronk, but not in a sex way.
Mine's going to be the ghost because I have to imagine it's ectoplasm. And again, I think that's a better way to get superpowers. Yeah.
Guys, well, Tim's getting the ectoplasm all over him.
Plasmy.
Coop's getting the plasm on him as well. I'm throwing up on Gronk, but that's going to be it for us today. Thank you, everyone who hung out with us today and every day this week. We're going to be back Monday morning and every day, Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern time. A reminder, if you're getting ready for dynasty season, trying to learn about the incoming rookies, some of the freshman football players that are starting in college, check out Campus to Canton tonight at 7 p.m. right here on the Better Sports Network. And like I said, we'll be back on Monday. We got conference championship games this weekend, so get prepped, get your snacks ready, and get ready to enjoy those. We'll see if Patrick Mahomes can finally beat Joe Burrow. Until Monday, adios, everyone.
Bye-bye.